Jesus is real, but you devils taught lies on Christ. So many lies that when we come with the truth, people think that the lies is the truth and that the truth is the lie.
Who changed the truth for God into a lie? In English, Jesus Christ, in Hebrew, is Yahweh Shai. So do or die. The Immaculate Conception is deception, along with the myth of giving gifts on December 25th. Christmas is Satan's clause, the birth of Nimrod, and not the Son of God. To you was kinda odd. On the Passover, Christ was born in the spring. So now we bring the truth about the King of Kings. That's Black Jesus and not Caesar Borgias. And the facts can't be changed. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai.
Hebrew Israelites, Kwam Yashala.
It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom!
Shalom, Israel. Welcome to another class here at ISBHPK. We are located here in Houston, Texas. The address for the school is 8524 South Braesville Boulevard, Houston, Texas, zip code 77071. We got classes out there in San Antonio, Texas as well. The school address out there is 4219 Centergate Street, San Antonio, Texas, zip code 78217. We also got classes out there in Albuquerque, New Mexico, so definitely hit us up and we can get you linked up with the brothers out there in Albuquerque, New Mexico as well. So we got Passover coming up on April the 21st, which is this coming Sunday. Again, we got Passover coming up on April the 21st, which is this coming Sunday.
One thing about that, we got to remind everybody. We're celebrating the Passover on the 21st, but Passover starts on the 18th. So today is the 15th?
Oh.
Right. So Passover will start on the 18th that evening, which is, what, Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday. Today's the 15th.
No, 16, 17, Thursday.
Monday, Tuesday,
Today's
Wednesday.
Monday. Today's the
15,
15th.
16, 17, Thursday, excuse me. So Thursday, Eve, okay? That's the official start of the Passover. We're just celebrating it on the 21st because everybody's gonna be off. All right? So for everybody online, remember the Passover starts on the 18th. Okay, but we will be celebrating on the 21st because everybody's gonna be off. I wanna make that clear, I wanna make sure everybody got it. Because the Feast of Unleavened Bread starts the same night. So you don't wanna mess up on that and be eating, the yeast and all that stuff. You wanna get that all out the house on Wednesday or start doing it today, but start getting that yeast up out of the house, all that leaven. Okay, so remember, Passover starts on the 18th, but we will be celebrating together in unity on the 21st. Okay? And I'll make sure I say it again after class for everyone. Go ahead, finish up. You lost it?
Yeah. It's all good. Oh yeah, so also the address for the Passover will be located at the Sterling Banquet Hall, venue number 2. Again, it's the Sterling Banquet Hall, venue number 2. It's off of Hammerly Boulevard, and of course it's hosted here in Houston, Texas. Easy way to get there. It's going to be right off of the Beltway, right off of the Beltway 8. So right off of the Beltway in Hammerly. Whichever way you're coming from on the Beltway, just exit Hammerly, and the Passover is going to be somewhere in that area. Israel will not be taking any orders until after the Passover. And the brothers, us the brothers, we got a business. We got the oil business running that helps to fund the school, that helps to do everything that we do. So if you want to support, definitely link up with that. We got the website coming soon. It's in the works, so look out for that as well. When the website drops, go ahead and like, share, subscribe to the website as well. Get the word out. And here in Houston, Texas, we got classes Mondays and Wednesdays from 7 to 10 p.m., Fridays from 6 to 9 p.m. Shabbat, Saturday morning class, is going to be from 6 to 9 p.m. Oh, Salat. Shabbat, Saturday morning class is from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Sometimes it goes longer, sometimes it's a little bit less, depending on what we got going on afterwards. We got the kids class every Sunday from 2 to 3 p.m. That's going to be back up and running after the Passover. And we got plenty of pre-recorded kids classes on our ISBHBK Kids channel, so you can check those out as well. We ask that you like, share, and subscribe to our kids channel, ISBHBK Kids, to our 5 Minutes of Wisdom, to the cable show, to the news show, all that. Like, share, and subscribe. Get the word out. Every Tuesday we do the cable show, which is on Comcast local channel 17. If you're not in the area, you can stream it on hmstv.org. And also we got the brother Mashaba out there that does the Blog Talk Radio, and it's Monday through Friday, and it starts at 9:30 a.m. We ask that you do tune in to the brother Mashaba out there with the Blog Talk Radio. To find that, it's blogtalkradio.com/MASHAHBA, Mashaba. You'll be able to find the brother out there doing the Blog Talk Radio. To reach any of the priests, we got priest Kazakia. His number is 281-707-2737. And right here to my right, we got priest Kwatazap. His number is 303-557-8979. If you got any questions or concerns, I said concerns. Concerns, it's isbhbk@isbhbk.org. Go ahead and email us. If you have any donations, if you would like to send in any donations for the Passover, for the school rent, anything that we got going on, any form of donation is welcome and needed. Any form of contribution, whether it's monetary, whether it's money, whether it's books, pads, pencils, highlighters, older dictionaries, Bibles, honor bands, apocryphas, whatever it might be, whatever is in your heart to give, we ask that you do give. And with that, we're gonna go ahead and open it up for questions. Does anybody have any questions?
Y'all got any questions? Anything online?
There's online.
What they got?
But she's still writing those.
My bad. Damn, so it doesn't, your thing doesn't say automatically?
There's one question. Oh, it did.
What you got?
There's one question when it says.
Oh, yeah, what does it say?
I'm fairly new to the truth, so bear with me. My question is, I had a discussion with a scoffer yesterday, and she said Acts chapter 10 through 15 say that the Gentiles and all mankind can be saved. This is from Eddie Naveas.
Right. So I'm fairly new to the truth, so bear with me. My question is, I had a discussion with a scoffer, and she said that Acts chapter 10 through 15, so all 5 of those chapters are saying that the Gentiles and all mankind can be saved. Well, no. Well, when you say saved, what do you mean? Because remember, we're going to be saved from, and we've been through it for the last couple of classes, but we're going to be, as Israel, right, we're going to be saved from the destruction. And then we're going to get into the kingdom. So when they say saved, what are they saying? That they're going to get into the kingdom, the Gentiles? Right? Well, think about it. Who's going to build up our walls? Are they going to be in the kingdom like we're in the kingdom? No, we know that, right? Isaiah 60, Isaiah 14. We've been hitting that a lot. What's up? You could actually look at this if you want, because I added to mine. And then, yeah, I mean, if you want, it's all good. Send it to yourself. Let's see here. Yeah, what's the definition of being saved? Like getting into the kingdom? Being saved? Because that's what the Gentiles are going to be saved for. Go to Isaiah 60 real quick. We're not going to go through we're not going to read Acts chapter 10 through 15. We'll be here all night. But is there a specific point in Acts chapter 10 through 15? Is there a specific point that they were trying to hit you with that we can touch on? But I mean, go to Isaiah 60 and 10.
Isaiah chapter 60 verse 10.
Go ahead.
And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls.
They shall do what?
Build up thy walls.
This is talking about the kingdom to come. So it says the sons of strangers shall do what?
Build up thy walls.
Go ahead.
And their kings shall minister unto thee.
And their what?
Their kings.
Right. All their high elected officials, all these men of other nations that are in power, they're going to do what?
Shall minister unto thee.
Be in the kingdom with us.
Shall minister unto thee.
Yeah, they're going to build up our walls and minister unto us. So they do have to be there to a certain point. Go ahead.
For in my wrath I smote thee.
Right? For in the wrath of the Most High he smote Israel. What did he do? He put us in slavery. Right? He put us under oppression to the other nations. He put us under the curses. The whole Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Go ahead.
But in my favor have I had mercy on thee.
Right? The favor is going to be what he's describing now. The mercy is going to be these other nations that have trodden us down, that have beat us down. They're going to be the same ones to do what? They're going to be the same ones to build our walls, build our kingdom. Right? They're going to bring us, as the scriptures are going to tell us, their forces, their riches. Go ahead.
Therefore, thy gates shall be open continually.
Read on. Why?
They shall not be shut day nor night.
Come on.
That men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles.
The what?
The forces of the Gentiles.
Yeah. Whatever these other nations have that keeps their nations afloat, all their forces, their riches, their wealth, their military arms, their building infrastructure, all of that. They're going to bring it to us. Go ahead.
And that their kings may be brought, for the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish.
Wait, what are they going to do in the kingdom?
Serve thee.
They're going to be kicking it with us?
Serve thee.
Wait, they're going to be chilling right at the right hand of Christ?
Serve thee.
They're going to be serving us. It says it. Read it from the top.
For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish.
Right. You see that? It says the nation and kingdom that will not serve us. That's what they're going to be there to do. They're going to be there to serve us. Go. Read on.
Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted.
Right. Go down. Watch. Read on. Jump down to verse 14.
The sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee.
Yeah, the sons of them, they're going to come bending and crouching and bowing and begging. Please don't kill us. Please save our lives. They're not going to be coming and talking about where's the kingdom at, let me come in. Not in that way. They ain't going to be on that let's party. That's what we're going to be on. We're going to be on let's party, let's chill, let's rest. The same way that they deal with us now is how they're going to be dealt with in the kingdom to come. But guess what? The scriptures say reward unto her double, don't it? Read on.
And all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet.
Now, tell me what nation on earth does not despise the so-called black man? What nation on earth does not despise the so-called Hispanic? I don't care what country you go to. There's a word for there's a word in every language for nigger. Right? There's a word in every language for wetback, beaner, spick, spook. So what nation? Ask yourself. What nation don't despise us? Read it again.
The sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee.
What nation hasn't afflicted us and used us and milked our resources and milked our free labor? What nation? They all have taken part. Psalms 83. All the nations are confederate together to do what? To make us perish. So whether it be the bad food, the bad air, the bad water, the drugs, the guns, the violence, right? Whether it be the homosexuality being pushed in our communities, the abortions, all the nations got something to do with this. So this fits all nations. They're going to all come bending and crouching. Go ahead.
And all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet.
Read on.
And they shall call thee.
Wait, they're going to be in the kingdom kicking with us?
And they shall call thee.
Read on.
The city of the Lord. The Zion of the Holy One of Israel.
Go ahead.
Whereas thou hast been forsaken.
It says what?
Whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated.
You see that? It says, whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated. Go ahead.
So that no man went through thee. I will make thee an eternal excellency. A joy of many generations.
Verse 16.
Thou shalt also suck the milk of the Gentiles.
We're going to do what?
Suck the milk of the Gentiles.
Now, what is milk known for? Nourishment. Right? This is saying that we're going to get nourished up and built up off the Gentiles. So if we're taking their milk, taking all the things that nourish one up, taking things that build up a nation, what they going to have? Ain't going to be nothing left for them. We're going to be built up so they can serve us. They're going to be the ones providing the milk, providing the sustenance. Right? Read on.
And shalt suck the breast of kings. And thou shalt.
It said we're going to suck the breast of kings. Not literally. Lashed on to some grown man, no. But we're going to be taking those riches, those forces, all the things that kings have to nourish them up, all that power and wealth, that's going to be transferred to us. Read on.
And thou shalt know that I, the Lord, am thy Savior and thy Redeemer.
Right. From there, go to Isaiah
14.
Go to Isaiah 14.
Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 1.
Isaiah 14 and verse 1. Read on.
For the Lord
this is very important because, listen, yes, Gentiles will be saved. But for what? It's going to tell us right here in Isaiah. Read that.
Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them. And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place.
Wait, read it again.
And the people shall take them and bring them to their place.
You see that? The people shall take them. They're going to be taken, just like how they took us off the west coast of Africa and took us out of these places, and they took us to their places. They took us to Spain, India, Europe. They took us to the Americas. They took us to the islands. The same way they did to us is how they're going to get done. You find it?
Got it.
Read on.
And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them. And the land.
Wait, we're going to do what?
Possess them.
Wait, we're going to kick it like buddies?
Possess them.
We all going to be hanging out singing Kumbaya?
Possess them.
Yeah, they're going to be our possessions. They're going to be our possessions. There ain't going to be no, you kicking it with the white man in the kingdom and he's your friend. Or he's my good old work buddy. There ain't going to be none of that. He's going to be your good old slave.
Right.
He's going to be your slave. It says they're going to be our possessions. We're going to control that life. Read on.
Possess them in the land of the Lord.
Read.
For servants and handmaids.
For what?
Servants and handmaids.
Yeah, this is what they're saved for. They're saved for servants and handmaids. So if they're reading through Acts chapter 10 and 15 and they're feeling like the Gentiles are going to be saved, again, you'd have to go through that Acts to see what part were they trying to pull out to say that Gentiles were going to be saved in that Acts. But we know through Isaiah, through the prophecy of the end times of the kingdom, this is what it's going to boil down to. Yeah, they're going to be there. They got to. I ain't going to be, listen, I'm not going to be mowing my own lawn. Come on. I ain't going to be mowing my own lawn. I'm not going to be cleaning my own house. We talked about it during the Sabbath, right? We talked about how many babies brothers going to be having. It said a little one shall become a nation. What was it? It says a little one shall become 1,000 and a small one shall become a nation, right? That's Isaiah 62 and 22. 60 and 22. Man, if you're having that many kids, listen, I'm not changing all them poopy diapers. You need a handmaiden for that. It's gonna be one of these Gentiles, bro. They're gonna be watching after your kids. They're gonna do everything. Like when you go to like New York, you go to a place like New York, and you go to certain parts of New York where these so-called Jews live, the rich ones. They got like a lot of dough, the doctors and lawyers. Bro, you walk through there in the daytime, all you see is Benjamites and Judites pushing strollers of white babies. Doing what? That's their nanny, that's their babysitter. So, what you think? We're going to have double the kids, triple the kids, quadruple the kids. They're going to have to babysit them kids, man. Right? They're going to be doing that. That's just one of the duties. They're going to be working to the bone in righteousness. Give me that one in Revelations 13. Revelations what?
13 verse 10.
Revelations 13:10. Yeah.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
He that what?
He that leadeth into captivity.
He that what?
Leadeth into captivity.
He that leadeth into captivity.
Yeah, even with the captivity, like when you go into details, how they did our people, how the Spaniards, how the Europeans, the English, how they ripped babies, cut open wombs, and took babies out and bashed them against the rocks. They had dogs that were trained to eat people alive. You mean to tell me that they're gonna that the Most High is gonna allow them to reap the same benefits? Read that again.
He that leadeth into captivity
read
shall go into captivity.
Because they have to. Because this is not their hell. This is heaven on earth for them. And they stole it from us by brutality. They stole it through murdering all the Native Americans. They murdered them, man. Slaughtered them by millions. Made them walk long miles, a trail of tears. When they deal with us coming on the boats, throwing us off ships, sticking corks up our butts because we was having diarrhea. Y'all gotta watch that movie Goodbye Uncle Tom. When you watch that, you know doggone well that these Gentiles, these heathens, are not gonna be in the kingdom in our position. Keep reading.
He that killeth with the sword,
come on,
must be killed with the sword.
You mean to tell me a mass murderer is going to be a king and a priest in the kingdom? A mass murderer. The white man has been murdering since he's been born, man. It's ingrained in them. Whenever you hear about all these crazy situations, these shootouts, it's Esau. It's a heathen. It's Alibaba blowing up the England, whatever country in Europe he's blowing up. That's him. Esau in costume. Read.
Here is the patience and faith of the saints.
Read that again.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Come on.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Read.
Here is the patience and faith of the saints.
See, that's the patience and the saints that God's children have. To know that their enemy, their oppressor, the murderer, the deceiver, the liar is going to have to pay for what he's done.
That's right.
That's the patience. Read that last precept.
Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Come on, man. Why? Because they're going to reward these men for that, man. That nation, those people. Give me Revelations 18:6.
And then we're going to jump back to Isaiah 61.
You can actually get that one too. That goes straight into it.
What? That's what we want. That's what we want.
It's in Revelations. What is in Isaiah 61:7?
Oh yeah.
Read where you at.
This is Isaiah 18. Revelation 18
and 6, or Revelations 18 and chapter verse 6.
Reward her even as she rewarded you.
Read that again.
Reward her even as she rewarded you.
So how was the children of Israel rewarded? Well, guess what? They castrated us. Like he was saying earlier, they cut babies out of the womb. Right? They beat us. How do they reward you now? Listen, I just seen a story on the news where they found a dude, they put him into jail, guilty of murder. DNA says that he's innocent. They still gonna execute him. That's tonight.
Wow.
Yeah. They still hanging cats in Mississippi. It's 2019 and cats are still getting hung. Right? Look at Emmett Till. Look how they rewarded him for so-called whistling at a white woman.
Right.
Right? Look at Look at Philando Castillo and Mike Brown and
oh yeah, they got shot in their car.
look at all these people. Look how the Most High, look how the white man has rewarded our people for what? Bro, we done built this nation.
And that's when you go back to Deuteronomy. It says the tender and delicate man. Bro, we're tender, bro. We are lovers, but they continually psychologically put on us like we're the bad ones. No, we ain't fighting back technically.
Nope.
Right. So it says what? Read it again.
Reward her even as she rewarded you.
Right. So go ahead.
And double unto her double according to her works.
Right.
In the cup which
get Isaiah 61 and verse 3, Max. Go ahead.
In the cup which she had filled. Filled to her double.
Come on.
How much she had glorified herself.
So what is the double? Read Isaiah 63 and 3. Read.
Isaiah chapter 61 verse 3.
61 and 3. Read.
To appoint unto them that mourn in Zion. To give unto them beauty for
jump down to verse 4.
God. And they shall build the old waste.
So they're going to build up the old waste. They're going to build up the kingdom. They're going to rebuild everything that they destroyed. Or that's been destroyed. Go ahead.
They shall raise up the former desolation.
Read on.
And they shall repair the waste cities. The desolation of
they shall do what?
They shall repair the waste cities.
Come on.
The desolations of many generations.
Read on.
And strangers shall stand and feed your flocks.
They're going to do what?
And strangers shall stand and feed your flocks.
Yeah, you're going to be out there sheep herding. They're going to feed the flocks. Go tend to my horses, boy. Go tend to my cattle. Go tend to my sheep. Go tend to my children. Go make sure the pit bulls is fed. And make sure there's no poop in the grass. But it's grass, master. Off with his head. Read on.
The sons of the alien shall be your plowmen.
The who?
The sons of the alien shall be your plowmen.
You see that? The sons of the alien shall be your plowmen.
Yeah.
But it's going to be double.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to make sure they plow on their backs with no horse.
Oh yeah. Listen, you ain't got no shoes on your feet. Hit them thorns.
You going to be just plowing. You going to strap that to your shoulders.
Oh yeah.
You going to be the horse.
Yeah.
You see them big Edomites that live in Nebraska, the big corn fed?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I want one of them.
Oh yeah.
He's going to be plowing.
You know, some cleats.
Yeah, he just going to be in that field.
Right.
Burning up like a lobster.
Yep.
Read on.
And your vine dressers, but ye shall be named the priests of the Lord.
Yeah, we gonna be the priests holding the law, holding the righteousness, instructing the world, and they gonna be put to work.
That's right.
In the kingdom. Read.
Men shall call you the ministers of our God.
Right?
Ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles.
There it goes again. We're gonna eat the riches of the Gentiles. Read on.
And in their glory shall ye boast yourselves.
Right. Listen, I wanna go to Dubai, and I wanna ride in all them Lamborghinis and whatever else they got out there. The Bentley trucks, they call it the Lamb truck now, the Lambo truck. You know what I'm saying? I want all that. I want those big sky rises that they got out there. I want those links.
You gonna own one.
Oh yeah.
You gonna own one. That's the thing. They're gonna build us more.
Right.
More
tech. Listen, I want the real Wakanda.
Right.
The spiritual Israel. Wakanda was just stop it. Ham ain't getting it.
Read on.
For your shame ye shall have double. And for confusion they shall rejoice in their portion.
Come on.
Therefore in their land they shall possess the double.
You see that? We gonna possess double. Everything's gonna be double, man. So double. Just look at history,
right?
And then say, "Damn, that was an atrocity what they did to the black folks."
And you don't think it's deserved or supposed to be given?
Oh, that's the Most High's justice.
Yes, it's a just decision, a just judgment.
Yep.
These cats been eating, man. Esau has been eating.
All these nations been eating off us.
Go to Whole Foods. You go to Whole Foods and they over here sipping wine while they hit the cash register. Where you see that at in the hood? Huh? Where you see your asparagus at, man? Your freshly organic asparagus. Your salmon. They got the tray of foods, all organic, freshly made. Man, they eating lavish, man. No worries.
Because it's their kingdom.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're the servant. No matter how much some brothers think they're not, you are. You're just a servant without chains.
Yep.
So, to to answer the question, I know we hit a few scriptures on it, but yeah, they're gonna be there. They have to. Somebody got to plow. Somebody got to do the work. We've been working for this nation, for this kingdom, for almost 500 years, man. Think about it. 500 years of servitude. 400 of it. And I'm gonna say this: the whole time it was forced. So, come on, man.
They just talk about all be saved, like all be saved, all be saved.
Huh?
They're talking about the all Gentiles. Me and saved. That was the question.
We had another question?
No, I was just with that. About yesterday, she said that the Gentiles and all mankind can be saved.
Well, they gotta be. Somebody has to be saved to do the work.
Right.
They have to be. They're not all gonna be saved. I mean, we know that as a drop to a wave, right? As a drop to a wave, we know that every Gentile ain't gonna be saved. They're gonna die.
Oh, yeah.
They're gonna die in destruction. We went over it in Revelations 11, and many other classes about the destruction. 2/3 of Israel is gonna be cut off. 1/3 of Israel is gonna be saved. And a lot of Gentiles are gonna die when Christ comes on that day.
Yeah, because they got to, man.
These cats is nasty. Can't put them with animals. You can't put them with your family members. They're defiled. They stink. They have lice. They don't know how to treat people. Morality's out the window. They got to be eradicated, man.
God.
That virus has to be cut out. That parasite has to be destroyed, man.
God.
Yeah, because I don't want no filthy Edomite. I don't want the dirty one, like the real filthy ones that have lice and stuff. I don't want them taking care of my kids. They're going to be wiped out.
You walk up to them, they got like a whole snowflake on the side of their shirt. You look at them like,
yeah, they're going to be gone.
Esau, did you shower this morning?
Some of them don't. And you can smell it.
You smell like toes.
Where you can just see the dirt on their skin.
Or you can see the dirt on their skin. You're like, what's that? What is that? What is that? Like two-tone skin? No, that's just dirt.
Pound of melanin, yeah, melanin deposits.
So, y'all get the point, man. I know we having a little bit of fun up here talking about. When you start talking about the kingdom to come, but that's why it says this is the faith and the patience, because this is what we fight for, man. This is what like Kazakia says it a lot, man. There's so much more that we fight for that brothers don't understand.
Yep.
We ain't fighting for no damn raggedy ass vehicles and homes on this at this time. Yeah, it's good to be comfortable, but we fighting for that eternal life, that immortal life. We fighting for that for that rulership, man. We fighting just to sit back and be able to say, you know what? Look at my slave. Look at my Edomite slave plowing that grass. I'm proud of her.
In righteousness, man.
Yeah, but in righteousness.
And that the fight is for righteousness, because it's wickedness out here, man. Wickedness. Now you got colleges. I think it was what college that we seen that they're accepting transgender men or transgender individuals into their school to be known as a woman or a man. And
oh yeah, I seen that. That was
Morehouse. I think that was Morehouse, man.
So that's an all-black college, right?
Yeah.
They said what?
That they're going to allow transgender men or women into their enroll.
Morehouse is all men's college.
Yeah, it is.
Morehouse is an all men's black college, right?
Clark is the women's college to that.
Right. So now they're letting transgenders. Yeah, because it's all about confusion. Wow. It's all about blurring the lines. It's all about if we don't let them in, as a college, we'll be looked at the wrong way. Yeah. But that's why the scriptures say, "Woe to him that called good evil and evil good," because you're like, well, we gotta be accepted, because that's what they do. They call evil good, so what? They're not looked at as biased, racist, or you're anti-gay, you're anti-this, you're anti-that. Because once you throw the word anti behind anything,
right,
you're done as a school or a business. So, but y'all hopefully that answered that for clearing that up for me. Oh, thank you, Preach, for clearing that up for me. Yeah, that's no problem. And when you get a chance, make sure you read that book of Acts. But read that 10th chapter to that 15th chapter. And you'll see that. Wasn't talking about Gentiles. Not the ones that are roaming around with pale skin. It's talking about Israel and Gentile state of mind. That's what it was always about.
Yep. Acts 5:31.
That's what it was always about. Remember, what was Paul's, just to add on to the back door of that, Paul, check this out. It's in Acts. It's in Acts. Go to Acts. We go there all the time. It's Acts 19, I believe. Go to Acts. Go to Acts 21 and 18. Acts 21 and 18. Because remember, who was Paul teaching? Paul said he is the apostle of the Gentiles, right? He magnifies his office. But was he talking about the nations? Was he talking about like, I'm about to go out to Esau and teach Esau? Or I'm about to go out to Elam and I'm trying to get Elam saved? Nah. This is what he was talking about. Read Acts 21 and verse 18. What's up?
I just read something last night. It correlates, and it's funny that you brought it up. Maccabees, is it 2nd Maccabees 1? Or 1st Maccabees? I think it's 2nd Maccabees 1. Where they were joining to the Grecians, and they were keep trying to follow.
Trying to make themselves uncircumcised?
That's one.
Yeah, that's one. Yeah.
I read it last night, so I was thinking about it.
Oh, okay. Okay, no. Read that. Acts 21 and 18.
And the day following, Paul went in with us unto James, and all the elders were present.
Go ahead.
And when he had saluted them, he declared particularly what things God had wrought among the Gentiles by his ministry.
Right. Go ahead, read.
And when they heard it, they glorified the Lord.
So it says it right there. What the Most High wrought unto the Gentiles, right? Go ahead.
And when they heard it, they glorified the Lord, and said unto him, Thou seest, brother, how many thousands of Jews?
How many thousands of what?
Jews.
Come on.
There are which believe.
Right, read.
And they are all zealous of the law.
Because why were they considered the Gentiles? Because they've been mingled amongst the Gentiles for so long. They took on what? No different than Paul. Paul was considered a Roman, but he knew his registry as a Benjamite. You know, he was a Hebrew. It's no different than a lot of our brothers and sisters here in America. I'm American, or I'm this, or I'm that. I'm Australian, I'm an Aussie, or I'm British, or I'm this. They take on the title of the land and the customs of the people, but their true nationality is not that. So Paul had to go out, just like how we go out and we teach. Who do we teach?
Israel.
Who do we teach? Who gets taught when we're teaching Israel?
Everybody, really.
Everybody gets taught, right? Because we were mingled amongst the heathen. We were mingled, so we have to go out and street teach. Everybody hears it. So you might catch an actual Gentile that might pick up and say, "Oh wow, okay." But then you might catch an Israelite that thinks that he's what? American. That thinks that he's Esau because his mom is an Edomite, dad is an Israelite. You might catch his attention. That's part of the curses that we were scattered. Go ahead.
And they are informed of thee, that thou teachest all the Jews.
Read.
That thou teachest all the Jews which are among the Gentiles.
Yeah, so they got to get taught. They're going to be taught. The Gentiles are going to hear the word. And they're going to disannul it and act like we're lying and boo us and yell and scream and Jesus loves everybody. But it's for Israel. That's why Paul said, my hope and prayer is that all Israel might be saved. Go ahead.
And they are informed of thee, that thou teachest all the Jews which are among the Gentiles.
Read.
To forsake Moses, say that they ought not to circumcise their children, neither to walk after them.
That's it on that. That's it on that. So hopefully that answers that. I know we kind of went in, but you know, it's always a topic of discussion when it comes to the world versus Israelites. Jesus loves everybody, right? Come.
Until the scriptures come out.
Till the swords start flying. After watching the video, I pray. I'm not sure. Encouraging, profiting all foolishness from the people. Oh, Maury. Let's see here. Con evil. I'm asking for prayer list in Lashawan Kodash so I can yield up my prayers to the Most High. Can you provide this to me? A prayer list in Hebrew? I mean, we can get you. What do we have? We have the Lord's Prayer. We got Psalms 133. What else do we have?
92. Psalms 92.
But that's not in. He wants it in Hebrew. Yeah, all we have in Hebrew is the Our Father prayer. We got that. We got Psalms 133 in Hebrew.
The numbers that they do the anointing with. I think the numbers.
We got the anointing prayer.
You got Psalms, is it 121?
In Hebrew?
Oh.
And then we got Psalms 121 in Hebrew. Yeah, we can get that to you. Just send me a text. My number is 303-557-8979. I can get you some. I can get you either some screenshots or get you something that where we can email you. But yeah, you gotta text me. I will forget. 303-557-8979. Let's say, hey, Shalom. This was the person online asking for the prayers in Hebrew. I'll get that to you. But if you don't, you gotta text me because I will forget. It's like that. It's like that, y'all. The brain, man, can only hold so much. What else we got? Is that it? Let's see here.
It says, Saniel, I know we have to keep God laws.
Right.
Can you explain Romans 6, verse 14?
Go there real quick.
Romans chapter 6, verse 14. For sin shall not have dominion over you.
Right.
For ye are not under the law, but under grace.
Right. So, right, because that's how people do, right? The Christians, they'll pull one scripture and say, see, we don't have to follow the law because we're under grace. Right? First of all, let's do this. Let's go to Matthew 5:17 real quick. Go to Matthew 5:17. Let's see what Christ said. Because Christ is above Paul, right? So even if Paul was going on some real off, just out the box, drop the law, Paul doesn't supersede Christ. Christ supersedes Paul. And then we know that the Most High is not the author of confusion, but of peace. So he's not going to say this. Read.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets.
Right, so he's not going to have Christ come and say, think not that I've come to destroy the law and the prophets, and then Paul's going to come back and be like, the law's done away with. That's confusion. The Most High is not the author of confusion. Read on.
I am not come to destroy,
right,
but to fulfill.
Right, see, Yahweh Shai didn't come to destroy, but to fulfill the law. Go ahead.
For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass.
Right, so we still have heaven above us, and we have earth under our feet.
One jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law.
Right, nothing shall pass from the law until Christ comes back and puts that law in our inward parts. And guess what? The law still won't be done away with. The fulfilling, right, the thing that Christ did away with in the law was the death of the law. The death of the law meaning what? You don't have to die when you make a mistake. You don't have to die when you sin on purpose. Right? So from there, go to Romans 7.
Romans 7.
So we can establish a few things about the law. Right? We got to establish the things about the law, that the law is good, that Christ said the law was not done away with. And then we'll be able to further understand what Paul was talking about. Go ahead, Romans 7 and verse 12.
Romans 7 verse 12. Wherefore the law is holy.
The law is what?
Holy.
Come on.
And the commandment holy.
Right.
And just. And good.
Right. So Paul was letting us know that the commandment was holy, just, and good. Now jump down to verse 14.
Well, we know the law is spiritual.
The law is what?
The law is spiritual.
Come on.
But I am carnal.
Right.
Sold under sin.
Right. And this is the problem where we're so carnal. We're so carnal and lazy. It's like, you know what? I don't want to do one part, so screw it all. And we just say the law is done away with. Well, not us, but the Christian church, the black leaders, the all these churches, right? All these, because you do have some Israelites out there that don't know what the hell they're talking about, and they'll come, oh, you don't got to keep the law. You don't got to keep the Passover. We don't got to do that no more. But Christ said he didn't come to destroy. Paul said here the law is good, just, and holy. He comes back and says the law is spiritual, but we're carnal. So guess what? And that right there is showing that we missed a few things about the law. Even when we were trying to keep it back in the day, we missed a few things. Now let's jump over back to Romans 6:14.
Romans chapter 6, verse 14.
Right?
For sin shall not have dominion over you.
Right?
For ye are not under the law, but under grace.
Right. You're no longer under the death of the law, but now you have grace. But what it was saying was that you weren't supposed to commit sin just because you had grace. You weren't supposed to say, well, I'm going to let sin reign over me and take a hold so I can abuse the grace of the Most High. How do we know? How do we know that's what Paul was saying? Two scriptures. Go to Titus 2:11. Go to Romans 6 and verse 1. Romans 6 and verse 1.
What shall we say then?
Uh-huh.
Shall we continue in sin?
You see that? Shall sin have dominion over you? Read.
That grace may abound.
That we can see the grace of the Most High. Read on.
God forbid.
Read. You see that? God forbid. You weren't supposed to sit back and say, you know what? I'm going to keep being a murderer because I got grace. Right. I'm going to keep committing adultery because I got grace. That's how sin reigns over you. See, the one thing that they forgot about grace was that grace was supposed to do something. Grace wasn't just some mystical, magical thing that appeared and then disappeared. Grace was supposed to do something for all of us. Go to Titus chapter 2 and verse 11.
Titus chapter 2 verse 11. Mm-hmm. For the grace of God that bringeth salvation.
It does what?
That bringeth salvation.
It said the grace. How does the grace that abounds to every man is supposed to bring you salvation? But how? Is it just like all of a sudden you just keep sinning and then grace just keeps piling up somehow? And then all of a sudden you're saved? Like the more I sin, the more grace I get? It don't work like that. See, that's not what Romans 6 and 14 is saying. Romans 6 and 14 is saying, stop sinning. You're not supposed to sin so that the grace abounds. You're not supposed to let sin reign over you because you're under grace and not under the death of the law. Because imagine if we were in Moses' time. Cats would be dying left and right. And then what would they be doing? Oh, can't do that because I'm going to die. Can't gather sticks on the Sabbath because I'm going to die. Can't, right? They'd be learning something. They'd be looking at the example of what not to do. Right? But how would they see that example? That example will be coming through somebody dying. But now you have grace that does what? Read on.
That bringeth salvation had appeared unto all men.
Come on.
Teaching us.
It's supposed to do what?
Teaching us.
Right. Grace was supposed to teach you. Grace was supposed to teach you. That's the problem with the grace of the Christian church. What are they learning? Well, all they're doing is saying, what? Well, I can just sin all I want. I can let sin have dominion over me, and I don't have to learn anything. But it said grace was supposed to do what?
Teaching us.
Read.
That, denying ungodliness and worldly lust, we should live soberly.
You see that? We're supposed to learn how to live soberly if we deny godly, worldly lust. Grace was supposed to teach us now. Why? Because if I committed adultery, I didn't have to die. So now I can have remorse for my sin and say, you know what? I offended that brother. I offended the Most High. I broke the law. Yeah. Let me have godly sorrow, repentance. Let me learn now from my mistake. And let me not repeat it no more. And then let me teach the next man. Because how can you teach anybody really if you're dead? You can't. All they don't see is he's dead. And guess what? Did that really teach our people? No, it didn't. Because we were dying throughout the whole 40 years in the wilderness. As soon as we crossed that Red Sea, cats was getting popped off. They were an example. Like Paul said, they were the example to show to not live worldly. They were the ensamples and the examples. So people were still dying. Now, grace is here. That's supposed to teach you, and then you're supposed to use that to teach others. Where you at? Read on.
Teaching us that denying ungodliness and worldly lust, we should live soberly, righteously, and godly in the present world.
You see that? Go to 1 Timothy 1 and verse 9.
Oh, yeah.
Go to 1 Timothy 1 and verse 9 and see. So, look at dirty up in here. Yeah, we're going to jump back to Romans. We got to. We got to jump back into Romans.
1 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 9. Knowing this, that the law is not made for a righteous man.
You see that? It says what?
The law is not made for a righteous man.
Why? Because the law is for the lawless. Meaning, a righteous man doesn't have to be told. A man that understands the law and knows it, he doesn't have to sit there and be told, don't commit adultery. He already knows. So that law is not for him. Meaning he doesn't have to be told that. Go ahead, read.
But for the lawless.
But for who?
The lawless.
You see that? Read.
And disobedient.
And who?
And disobedient.
Right, go ahead.
For the ungodly and for the sinners. For unholy and profane. For murderers of fathers and murderers of mothers.
Right. These are the ones that need the law. The disobedient. But see, what happens is they abuse the grace when they say, well, I got grace. I'm going to continue to be disobedient. I'm going to continue to be a murderer. They let sin reign over them. Go ahead.
For manslayers. For whoremongers. For them that defile themselves with mankind.
Go ahead.
For men stealers. For liars. For perjured persons. And if there be any other thing that is contrary to sound doctrine.
You see that? That's who the law is for. For these type of individuals. Disobedient, hard-headed, stiff-necked. You got to constantly tell them, stop being selfish. Stop being rebellious. Stop being prideful. Stop being hateful. Stop being murderous. That's who the law was for. But the ones that already know, and I would say no one's perfect. We know that. No one can keep it to the 100%. Right? But no one has to tell brothers up here, like, don't commit adultery. We already know that. That law, we're not bound to that law in the manner of, I got to be reminded that every single day. I don't got to be reminded that. That's already in my inward parts. That's already in me. Don't eat pork. That's already in me. Yep. Right. Check your pride. Okay, let me check. You know, brothers got things. Those spiritual ones, those are the ones that where you got to keep working. Your humility, your pride, your jealousy, your envy, your hatred, your anger. Right? Anger is a big one for brothers. Where you got to constantly be reminded, bro, check your anger. Anger rests in the bosom of fools. Right?
Be angry and sin not.
Be angry and sin not. Okay, so where are you going to go?
Romans 7 and 7.
God, Romans chapter 7, verse 7. What shall we say then? Is the law sin?
Read that again.
What shall we say then? Is the law sin?
Yeah, you know, because you got a lot of Christians, a lot of believers, man. They act like there's something wrong with the law.
God.
They act like it's really an offense. Oh, I don't have to keep the law anymore. It's like, what is the law though? What is the law? Like the scripture says, the law wasn't for the righteous, but for the lawless. But keep reading.
God forbid.
It said, hell no. The law is not sin. Read.
Nay, I had not known sin, but by the law.
See, but for those gremlins, for those in the streets that are without these scriptures, those that don't know what's right and what's wrong, the law is there to let you know. Listen, this is the way to do it. Listen, don't eat that. Don't do this. Don't have this thought in your mind because why? That's sin. Read that again.
God, I had not known sin, but by the law.
Come on, man. It's the rudiment. It's the rudimental foundation of the Most High. This is what we know what is accepted and rejected. Read.
For I had not known lust, except the law had said, thou shalt not covet.
Because you got a lot of men that walk around that be like, I just stole a man's wife. Like, that's actually wrong, bro.
God.
That's not righteous. That's again, you believe in God? Well, according to the Bible, God doesn't like that. Because men really think that they can snatch other men's wives.
Mr. I'm going to steal your girl?
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
In the church, though.
Oh, yeah.
In the church. The pastor's
hitting the congregation.
Right. He got 5 babies in the congregation. 5 different women.
And but those women got husbands. Go ahead, read on. Was that it?
No, yeah, that's it.
That's it, but we got to remind them. Jump right back up to Romans 7. Read verse 12 one more time, and then read verse 14.
Wherefore, the law is holy.
You see that? The law is not sin, the law is holy. But the law is for the lawless. Go ahead.
And the commandments holy.
Read.
And just and good.
Right. The problem with us is that, read verse 14.
For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, so under sin.
Right. So hopefully that answers that question. Hopefully that answers that question. My question is, are y'all's wives black? Well, no one's black. We're all Israelites. And if you're asking if our wives are Israelites, they're Israelites. But, I mean, I ain't black. That's a color. No one's black. Or if you're asking, are they all different shades of brown? Yeah. Always gotta have a jokester online, man. You gotta have that class clown. You know that class clown? You always gotta have that. It's funny. Anyway, anything else before we get into this class? Law? You ready?
All
right.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's go into the class. Since there's nothing else online, nothing else in class.
Somebody give me 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 9.
Love being clowns, man.
Give me 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 9. And this is the thing, man. The Most High called us out of this world, and we were lucky enough to be one of the few chosen ones that's learned this truth, and that the Most High is using to make stuff move and to make stuff shake. You got a scripture in, I believe, the 2nd Ezra, man, where it talks about how the Most High gave much dust of the earth, right? But only few that's actually gold, right? Only few of the dust of the earth is actually gold. You got plenty of sand, you got plenty of dirt, you got plenty of soil, but only a few is actually gold. And this is the thing. Read 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9.
1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation.
Listen, man, for us to know that we're Israelites right now in 2019, we are a chosen generation. This is beautiful. This is beautiful to know that the Most High is placing us, is changing us and making us into pillars for our nation to stand on. Strong pillars at that. For our nation to stand on and look at and be like, man, this is the example. Read.
A royal priesthood.
For us to be literally coming back to the priesthood that was taken from us. Something that we had naturally in our spirit. Something that we was, from the time that Moses led us into the wilderness, we had this. And for us to have lost it, now we're coming back to this royal priesthood. This is beautiful. Read.
And holy nation.
Read.
A peculiar people.
Read.
That ye should know, that ye should show forth the praises of him.
And this is the thing. The Most High called us to show forth the praises of him. Read.
Of him who had called you out of darkness into his marvelous light.
He called us out of what?
Darkness.
He called us out of what?
Darkness.
Into what?
Into his marvelous light.
See, the Most High called us out of darkness. What's the darkness? The darkness is this world. The thought process of this world. Everything about the world. The music, the entertainment, the TV, all that. The dark ways of the world, the unfruitful ways of the world. From the selfishness, from the anger, the adulterous mind states, the lust, the non-sober, the non-caring, the non-loving, the slothful, the not diligent, not disciplined. That's all darkness. That's what makes this world darkness. The world that lacks morality, that lacks care, that lacks obedience, that lacks dedication, that lacks that lacks anything good. It's darkness, man. The Most High called us out of that to go into what?
Which in time past.
To go into his marvelous light. I'm sorry.
He called us out of that selfish It's all about me. I want to be by myself. I don't want to give. Right? He called us out of that selfish spirit.
God.
Because a lot of brothers, a lot of sisters, a lot of Israel is selfish. How do you ask? Well, they're selfish on so many different levels that we're going to hit them. And I don't want to jump too far, but brothers, it's been embedded in brothers and sisters to, because what does the world teach you? If we were called from the darkness, what does the world teach you? To look out for self, right?
Me, myself, and I.
Me, myself, and I.
It's me against the world.
Yeah, me against the world. I can do better all by myself.
Yeah.
Right? Make sure you get yours.
Niggas can't tell me nothing.
Right. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Man, I remember, man, I watched this old street speaking video of High Priest Ariel, right? Or High Priest Ariel. And when he was street speaking, what he said was this. He was like, black man, Latino man, y'all forsake, I'm butchering what he said, but he said something along the lines of this. Y'all forsake the biggest resource that y'all have. And it's each other. The biggest resource that we have is each other. It's unity. We're not unified in nothing. Nothing we're unified in. We forget about that. We don't care about it. America has put into us not just slavery on in general. The whole Psalms 83. These nations that conspired against us, all of them, they'll put in us to have that crab in a barrel mentality where we don't care about each other at all. But jump to let's do 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 1. But yeah, man, the brother was saying the biggest resource that we have is each other. It's unity. When you look at anything that prospers, it's unity. When you go on Bel Air, Chinatown, why can they have all those Chinese businesses in one area? Because they got unity. They got their own security cop cars walking around. Y'all be seeing it, the Spartan cop cars. That's them. That's the Chinese protecting their own businesses. But if you think about a black and Latino controlling a whole street, like look at MLK. It's not gonna be at where it needs to be. It's not gonna, compared to all the other nations, if we were to ran a whole street, it wouldn't be like how theirs is, because we're not unified. We're not looking out for one another. We don't even buy black. We don't support our own people. Go ahead, read 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 1.
2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 1.
Go ahead.
This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come.
And this is the last days. So it says in the last days perilous times shall come. Read.
For men shall be lovers of their own selves. Listen,
man, it's perilous. It's perilous for a man to only care about himself. Especially, let me look up the word perilous. It says dangerous, hazardous, full of risk. So think about it. Read verse 2 again.
For men shall be lovers of their own selves.
It's a dangerous mindset for a man to only care about himself. It's hazardous. It's full of risk for a man to only give a darn about himself. Read.
Covetous.
Now you covetous. Read.
Boasters.
And listen to the music, man. Everything in our music is about coveting, and it's about boasting. Yeah. Even Jay-Z said it in one of his songs. It's like my wife is Beyonce. I brag different. God. He boasts different. That's all it's about. It's just about boasting. You listen to this rap music, you listen to this R&B music, it's about all I got.
Right.
I got this, I got that. I got this and that.
And then when you look at all the rappers, what do? They just flaunting money.
God.
Putting stacks in their pockets. You know what I'm saying? Pushing all on the ground, stepping on it.
Telephone.
Walking on it.
God.
Yeah, making it into a telephone. I hear the money talking.
Our people so beat down, man. It's ridiculous. You know, I'm actually doing a class on that, man. Just showing our people. It's gonna call the American Dream, and it's about how, since we're on this money topic, it's about how these celebrities, the white man sold us something that we really think was real. When you look at Diddy, you really think that Diddy owns Ciroc. No, he doesn't. He's just a marketer. When you looked at Magic Johnson owning the Dodgers, no, he didn't. He only invested $50 million out of another 100 million, out of another 100 people that invested in the Dodgers. They just made him the face.
Just like Jay-Z, just like all these other, so they make him the face to make you think like, oh, they got it going on.
To boast.
So they can boast about it. Oh, I own 1% of this, I own 1% of that. And then, but what does it pump to you? What does it pump to us as Israel?
I gotta be just
I gotta get mine, dog. So now when it comes to laying your life down for your brother, it's like, well, hell nah. I gotta make sure I'm good.
God.
Now when it comes to putting your hand to the plow and not looking back, it's like, wow.
And you know the thing is too, what they do, they put it in there like that's the way to get it. That's the way to be successful. Yeah. Like when you listen, DJ Khaled got this guy had the song, I got the keys, the keys, the keys. They be these rappers be trying to, they be saying in their songs, I be trying to show you how to get it. I'm gonna show you how to get it. But the way for them to get it is by them being, they crossing people, they stepping on people's toes. It's all selfishness, it's all greed, it's all about them. They don't care about you. And that's the thing, the Most High called us out of that darkness to bring us into his marvelous light, to take us out of that mindset. Listen, man, Ice Cube don't even own the big three. In case y'all didn't know. But you would swear that he does.
Own the what?
The big three, Ice Cube's league, big three.
Yeah, well,
he don't own that.
Because their money ain't that long like that, first of all.
He's just
the face of the league.
He's just the face.
But see, that's the world though. That's how the world bamboozles us. To make us think like they're getting it. And they're attaining. Right. And then we chase it, man. That's the sad part. We chase it, we look for it, I want to be a rapper. Now I gotta do things on my own. I don't gotta look out for my people. That's the problem with our people is what? Think about it, man. Why did Nipsey Hussle have to come along? Where was Game? Where was Dr. Dre? Where was all these dudes at? Where was our people at looking out for our people?
Especially in Cali.
It took a whole nother nation.
Snoop Dogg.
It took a whole nother where was Snoop Dogg at? Right? But it took a whole nother nation, a man of a whole nother nation, to give back to our people.
Got it.
It's sad because our people are Dr. Dre's selfish as hell. Yeah. Plus he's damn converted. Come on, man. He's an Oreo. He'd rather donate $10 million to UCLA or whatever college that is.
No, it's USC.
USC.
No, it was actually UCLA.
No, it was.
The article's UCLA.
No, it was USC.
Well, either one. He'll donate to some college. Yeah. 10 mil. But that 10 mil could have went to the hood. That 10 mil could have went to the community.
Listen, just like Jay-Z's 15 million that he gave for Nipsey Hussle's child.
That could have went to
like, bro, she's already established.
There's people in our communities and in our hoods that need that. Our communities are suffering, but nobody wants to give. That selfish spirit, because we've been taught from the jump. Be selfish. You've been taught to be selfish. No, that's mine. That's mine. That's mine. Everything is yours. Not to give. Nothing about brotherhood and unity. But once you get it, you got to keep it for yourself. Because you know why? The misconception is that once you get something, you'll never get it again. Like brothers be acting like, people be acting like the one car they have, that's gonna be the only car they ever get ever in life, ever. Or the one shirt that you got. Or the one meal. Like you never gonna get another meal ever again. We gotta do better. That's the world's influence that you ain't gonna get it. You ain't gonna get it easy. Where we at?
Read from the top, brother. Start verse 1 again.
This known also that in the last days perilous times shall come.
So it says in the last days perilous times shall come, right? We're gonna read down and we're gonna see everything that makes this world perilous, that makes this world dangerous, hazardous, and full of risk. And the Most High called us out of this darkness, out of this world, to bring us into his marvelous light. What's the marvelous light? This unity. The body that we have.
The wisdom, the knowledge, the laws. So it's the laws of light.
God.
Right? So it's the wisdom, man. He's calling you into the wisdom not of the world, but into his wisdom.
God.
To show you that there's a different way. If the world says be selfish and be alone, let's see what the Bible says. Go ahead.
Let's do this too. I want all of us to pay attention to everything that's being named, starting at verse 2, and ask yourself, man, do I have this in me? Because we all do to a certain extent. But do I have all these things in me? Go ahead, read verse 2.
For men shall be lovers of their own selves.
Do I only care about myself? Am I prideful as hell? Do I care about others? Do I esteem others better than myself? When my brother is weak, do I restore my brother back into the strength? Like, we're going to hit that scripture later. But is it just about me and my family or my household, or is it about my nation? Read.
Covetous.
Covetous, read.
Boasters. Pride.
That covetous spirit, though, that's what? Well, I like his better than mine, so I want his. What did the world teach you? The world taught you that if you got something, but somebody else got something that you like, you can just take it. Go rob them, go stick them up, right? That's what the world teaches us. Hustle hard to outshine everybody. That covetous spirit. You looking at your neighbor, looking at his plate, you got a full plate in front of you. But you looking at his plate to see what you can add to your plate. His chicken look better than mine. His greens look more cooked than, I need his greens. I need his chicken, right?
Or a lot.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say a lot of us too, like we'll see somebody that they'll have somebody or they'll have a particular thing about them or a particular blessing or a particular gift, but we don't wanna follow the same path or the same method to get that gift. Even though we want it, we're coveting it, but we don't follow the method or the path that's laid down for us to get to where that brother or that sister is at. For the Most High to shine that same light that the Most High shine on them onto us.
Right, but you got to think about it. It says in perilous times men shall be covetous.
But
doesn't the Bible come back and say to covet the best gifts? Right? So the scriptures tell you to covet. It tells you what to covet, what to be covetous of. If a man is extra charitable or extra hospitable and you're not, you're supposed to be sitting back like, damn, how do I get to that level? Or if a man is extra studious, a brother, is extra studious or whatever it may be in righteousness, you're supposed to be sitting back like, damn, I don't got that. Man, I want that. I want to add that. Not to your negative, but you want to add that to your righteous gifts. Right? You don't just want to have it just to have it. Like, I want to be studious too, just so I can say I'm studious. Nah, you want to have that so you can use it for something. Go ahead.
And that's where what you just said goes into this. Read the next one.
Boasters.
Yeah, we don't want to just get it just so we can boast about it.
Right, but that's what the covetous do. Right? Mr. Steal Your Girl. Who that? Trey Songz?
Yeah,
yeah, he'll boast it. He'll boast about it. Who's the other idiot?
R. Kelly. I'm a flirt.
Yeah, R. Kelly.
Don't leave no girl around me because I'm a flirt.
Yeah, R. Kelly.
Better get through.
Right? What's the other dude with the dreads, man? The retard, Future.
Oh yeah.
Right? Talking about that Low Life song with him and thing there. That's all about getting with somebody else's woman.
Oh yeah.
Right? That's all, and then he did it. He went and got with Pippin's wife. But then just so he can boast about it in his music.
Yeah.
Covetous and boasters.
Yep.
But this all entangles and intertwines that selfish, greedy spirit that brothers and sisters have on them that they brought from the world. That the world teaches. This is a teaching of the world. Go ahead.
Pride.
Go ahead.
Blasphemers. Blasphemers. Disobedient to parents. Unthankful. Unholy.
And this is the thing, man. Like with us being brought into the Most High's work, into His knowledge, these things can't be in us. Read.
Without natural affection.
Yeah, man, we can't be without natural affection, especially us operating in a body. Especially us knowing about the truth. We can't be without natural affection towards our brothers and sisters that might be a babe or might not know at all out in the world.
But if you don't have natural affection, right, a righteous man would say, well, let me get to somebody that does have, let me build up that natural affection. Because even that can be built. You can learn how to be compassionate. and have natural affection towards your people.
God.
You can learn how to develop true love. Just like how there was a chick he was talking to, and she was not the top notch, she was like a 5. What did you do? You learned to love all the things about her, and even love the things that you didn't like. You learned. You learned to love her chubbiness. Right? You learn to love that stinky morning breath. You learn to love the way she talked, the way she sounded, all the things you didn't like. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna just learn to love that. I'm gonna learn. So it can be developed. That's why it covet the best gifts.
Right.
Go ahead, read on.
Truth breakers, false accusers, incontent, incontinent, fierce.
Yeah, some of us are fierce, man. And that's one thing that the Most High don't want. Think about it. When you look at Christ and how Christ walked, how Christ trod through this earth, if there was any man that had a reason to be fierce, it was Christ.
Right.
Go ahead.
You just the definition of fierce is you're savage, man. It says savage. It says as a fierce tyrant.
Yeah, what is a tyrant? What are most tyrants? They're greedy as hell. They're selfish.
Yep.
Show me a tyrant that wanted to share. Look at Phineas and Hophnies, Eli's 2 sons.
Oh, right.
The scriptures, it called them tyrants.
Wow.
From their birth. Because why? They were greedy, man. They were greedy. They were 2 greedy men doing what? They were robbing the Most High, robbing the congregation, raping the women. They were greedy of gain.
Yeah.
You see that? So,
Right.
but that's the thing. We can't run around with that tyrant, that beastie, that fierce mentality.
Right. You fierce to the same people fighting in the same battle. The soldiers amongst your unit.
Yep.
Fierce within. Talking down, disrespect. You know, you supposed to be having love and showing joy and care, but you fierce as hell. No love, no compassion. Nah, man, F you! I hate you! Low key, that's what you want to say. No patience, man.
Go ahead, finish it up.
Despisers of those that are good.
Go ahead.
Traitors. Heady.
Ooh, traitors, because we are.
Yeah.
Traitors. Why? You know what happens? You be in the spirit one day and out the spirit the next day. You might as well be like the enemy, Satan, coming to destroy.
Right.
You hit me with the darts in my back because I'm down one day. I'm having a bad day. You're going to hit me with a dart. You're going to hit me with an extra axe to put me down.
Yeah, but what are brothers trading for? What are you trading? You're trading the spirit for some type of fulfillment of your flesh.
Carnality.
You're trading in the spiritual gifts that you possess to fulfill some greed in you. That's really what it is. Either I gotta fulfill my emotions, my greedy little emotions, or I'm hungry, or I'm sad, or you know I haven't gotten none in a few days. So now you trade the spirit for the emotions that's in you, for that sensual feeling.
Ooh, which makes you feel whole. And it goes back into that lovers of themselves, man. What makes me feel comfortable?
Right.
What betters my situation that I'm in? I don't care about you.
Go ahead, brother.
Heady.
The definition of heady is violence.
Come on, man.
It says violent, inflaming, intoxicating, rash, hasty, ungovernable.
Yeah, you start talking out of turn. Brother start talking, you start over talking him. It's like, bro, if you was in a world, you wouldn't do that to your boss. How much more a servant of the Most High?
And this is the thing, man. This is the thing about everything that's being named, too. This won't make it to the kingdom. This is not going to be in the kingdom.
God.
Everything's going to be in order. I always say this, man. It's going to be heaven for a reason.
God.
You won't find us in heaven. So we have to check all these things that are in us. That's why the scripture says, if you know you not that you shall judge angels, can't you judge the small matters between yourselves? Can't we judge ourselves and see what's in ourselves and say, man, let me fix this. Let me fix this before it comes out. If a counsel's going on, the counsel ain't about me. Let me just go ahead and check myself in this counsel, even though it's not for me. I'm just listening. Let me go ahead and examine myself and see, do I have any of these things in me? Am I doing any of these things? Am I not doing any of these things? So that I can fix it. So that it never becomes a problem.
Or improve upon.
Got it. Jump to, finish it up, brother.
High-minded.
Some of us are very high-minded. I'm better than this. I don't got to do this. I don't need to do this. This estate that I'm in is garbage. I was better off in the world than I am now. High-minded. Read.
Lovers of pleasures more than the lovers of God.
Read that part again.
Lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God.
And one very important point about this: lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God. When we go into this, we're going to go into it more. But if you love the Most High requires us to lay down our lives for our brethren. The Most High requires us to not be selfish. So if you really love the Most High, it's all about the next man. If you really and truly give a darn about the Most High, it's all about the next man. 100%.
But that's not what they teach you in the world.
Yeah. Fine.
That's not what they don't teach the next man in the world.
At all.
They don't teach you about loving. This is how you love your brother. This is how you love your family. They don't teach you about, because it really comes down to, sometimes you got to sacrifice. Sometimes you got to give your last to your brother, right? They don't teach that in the world. They're like, that's your last, keep that. Because you ain't going to get no more of your last. Not knowing that when you give your last, you'll get more. The Most High is not going to leave, the Most High is not going to leave us comfortless. But think about how much more if you give yourself and not be selfish.
Got it.
What was the last part you hit?
That was the end of verse 4.
Right. It says
lovers of pleasures.
It says lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God. That's that traitor. That's that selfishness. Where I love more the pleasure of this world, I'll attach myself to that more than what the Spirit is trying to show me, than what the Spirit is trying to teach me. It's all about my senses. It's all about, go there real quick. I keep quoting it. Because we're talking about what the world teaches, right? As far as selfishness. Remember, go to
Hebrews 5:14 says.
yeah, go to
It's the title.
read on where you at.
Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 5. Having a form of godliness.
And this is the thing, a lot of us have this form of godliness about us. Read.
But denying the powers thereof.
Yeah, man, but we deny it still. We deny that spirit to enter into us and to take over. We deny the counsel. We deny the what's the word I'm looking for here?
Counsel, advice.
Yeah, that's the word, advice. We deny the counsel. We deny the advice. That's how you deny the power of the Most High. You don't think it's gonna work. You think your way is better. You can be shown a million scriptures, but the million scriptures won't add up. You still won't do it your way. You still won't behave the way you behave. And that's why you will have a form of godliness, because you'll talk about it, but you're not actually living it. Go ahead.
But denying the powers thereof.
Read.
From such turn away.
From such turn away. From such turn away. Why? Because it's hypocritical.
God.
It's hypocritical. And that's not the example that you would want to set for somebody. Especially somebody that's a babe, somebody that's just coming into the truth, they don't know nothing. They can't see that.
Go to so we're dealing with what the world, the selfishness of the world, right? Go to Philippians 2:20. See, this is what happens in the world. Philippians chapter 2 and verse 20.
Come on. Philippians chapter 2 verse 20.
This is what the world teaches, man. Read.
For I have no man like-minded.
You see that? It's like you have no one like-minded. Go ahead.
Who will naturally care for your state.
Nobody cares in the world. They don't care for your state of being. They claim they care. They'll ride and die for you in the world. Like, man, if you need anything, I got you. Right? One of the most vague, overused sayings ever. Man, you know I got you if you need anything. But then when you need something, niggas ain't answering their phone. Right? You ain't getting no Instagram replies.
Yep.
That messenger, it just gets dry.
God.
Because why? Read it again.
For I have no man like-minded who will naturally care for your estate.
Read verse 21.
For all seek their own.
Because what?
For all seek their own.
See, this is what the world teaches to do what?
Yeah.
For all seek their own.
Read.
Not the things which are Yahushua.
This is what the world teaches. The world teaches you to seek your own. YOLO. You only live once. Make sure you get the bag, secure the bag, and don't share the bag. That bag is yours. That the world promotes greediness. Think about Thanksgiving. Let's look at the idiocracy of Thanksgiving and Black Friday. Thanksgiving is about giving thanks, right? And giving thanks for the things you have. So you give thanks one day, and then you run back 2 hours later after you stuffed your face with turkey and go be greedy on goods. You go trample people in hopes of getting a TV for a couple of $100 off. You trample people in the name of greed. That's what this world teaches. Don't care about nobody else's estate. Don't care about nobody. Don't have that natural care. Right? Go to Isaiah 56 and 11. You got something to say?
It was on the point that you was talking about earlier. It was about how when you're going through it, like nobody hits you up.
Right.
And this is the thing, man. That scripture tells you that a brother is born
through adversity.
Right. And the thing is that for you to actually say that this person is your brother is because this person was there for you when you went through something, or you and this person went through something.
Yeah.
That's what makes y'all brothers.
Right.
That's what separates you from a friend. Because it tells you that a friend is just there.
Right.
For his own occasion.
For his own occasion, but that's why it says prove a friend. How are they proven? How do you prove a person to see if they're greedy or not, or if they're selfish? Well, when you're going through something in your time of need, a brother's gonna be there for you. He ain't gonna hit you with the, if you need me, just hit me up. Man, you know if you need anything, just hit me up. And then all of a sudden, when the state of your affairs diminish, you hitting everybody up, and it's like, damn, ain't nobody answered? Yeah, that's that greed. Go to Isaiah 56 and verse 11.
Isaiah chapter 56, verse 11.
This is what the world teaches. Read.
Yea, they are greedy dogs.
They are what?
They are greedy dogs.
This is what's promoted in the world, to be a greedy dog. You ever see a dog eat?
Oh yeah.
You ever see dogs eat and you try to put your hand by that bowl?
Yep.
Man, that dog will rip your hand off. He will bite your fingers off along with that food. Trying to do what?
Get his.
He's trying to protect what he thinks he ain't gonna have no more. He done ate 3 times in that day, but he gotta protect the last meal of the day, thinking he ain't gonna get fed again. But that be the mentality of brothers and sisters. Like, they come into the truth, they give up a few things, they might lose a few things, and then as soon as you get something, what do? What do? I gotta protect what's mine, because the Most High done stripped me the last time, and if I don't protect this, right? If I don't protect this possession, whether it be my rib, can't have my rib come around because she's mine, right? Can't use her for the body because she's my rib. So she gotta be at home, cooking, cleaning for my house. It's all about mine. Because if she come around and then she might have to do things for the body, it's gonna take away from me and my boo time. Right? So the rib, I gotta protect her from, I gotta protect her, and then protect her. I'm not really proving her. I'm not proving that she's worth anything for the Most High. All I'm seeing is that she's down for me. Right? So the rib can't be used. If the camp needs something, a ride, I can't give brother no ride. Nah, that's my car. Nope.
Or I get a vehicle that can't.
Or I get a bike.
Yeah,
I go and get me a bike because I know that I can't give rides on a bike. He's selfish as hell. You know that the body, the body needs to be transported around and things need to be moved, and we do a lot of running and gunning. But what you do? Yeah, I'm gonna give me a bike that way. I ain't gotta get no rides. I'm tired of doing that.
She that coupe.
Or I'm gonna give me a 2-door coupe for me and my bags, me and my books, right? Because I don't want to make myself available to give. That's really what it's about. My greed has consumed me to the part where I don't even want to I don't want to take the time to give a brother a ride or a sister a ride. This is what the world teaches. Read.
which can never have enough.
And that's the problem with the world. It's all about more, more, more. Right? What do they teach you in the world? They teach you, what does Joel Osteen teach? What does Creflo Get More Money teach? Go to Timothy's real quick. This is what they teach. You got it?
Oh, got it.
Yep. Where's it at?
Oh yeah, 6 and 6.
1 Timothy 6?
Yeah, 6 and 6.
Go to 1 Timothy, somebody else. Yep. See, the world teaches you what? Read it again.
Yea, they are greedy dogs,
right?
Which can never have enough.
The world teaches you not to be satisfied. The world teaches you that it's all about more. Pile it on, baby. But not just more. I want his. I want his. I want hers. I want hers. I got like 3 chicks in rotation, but I want his wife. Right? I got like 4 chicks in rotation, but I gotta be Mr. Steal Your Girl. I got a bank account full of money, but I gotta be conniving and deceitful and selfish and somehow rob you out of your money. Right? Joel Osteen, what they teach you? Prosperity. Right. They teach you, right? God don't love you if you ain't got it. Read on. Read 1 Timothy 6 and 6. Read.
1 Timothy chapter 6,
Read
verse 6.
5. Read verse 5.
Verse 5.
You gonna still read, Major, but go ahead.
Perverse disputing of men of corrupt minds.
You see that? Selfishness is a perverse disputing of men with corrupted minds. Read.
And destitute of the truth.
Yeah, having a form of the truth, having a form of the Most High, but not knowing the truth. I butchered that in Timothy's. Go ahead, read.
Supposing that gain is godly.
Supposing that what?
Gain is godly.
Yeah, the more I get, the more that the Most High is with me. The more I keep up with the pastor, the more God is down. Right? But how do we look at it? How do Israel? You know what Israelites, brothers that know the Bible, you know what they say? Oh, the Most High blessed me with this, so He's with me. Oh, I got this, so the Most High blessed me. I got this rib and this car and this house and my bank account and this, so the Most High is with me. So the more I get, the more the Most High is with me. So what does that mean? That when you ain't getting nothing, the Most High ain't with you? So now, if that's the thinking, supposing like that godliness is gain, what does that push a man's mind to do?
Get more gain.
It pushes him to never have enough. Never have enough carnal. How come I can never have enough spiritual stuff? I can never have enough spiritual gifts. How do I get those? That's never the question, right? That's never a blessing. The spiritual gifts. It's always the car, the rib, the money, the house. It's always, oh, I got a new phone. The Most High is with me. Barakatayala. All praises. It's always all praises to the carnal. But how come when you get that extra notch in your brain and you remember that scripture or you found that one, it wasn't damn all praises to the Most High, I found it. Or man, I'm developing more charity, more love, more patience.
Follow the counsel.
Or I'm following counsel. How come it's never Barakatayala to that?
Whether it work or not.
How come it's not godliness to that, but it's always godliness when you get something that you can touch, taste, feel, poke, right? Read on.
From such withdraw thyself.
Go ahead.
But godliness.
Go ahead.
With contentment.
See, it's about being content with what the Most High gives you, not always looking for more and more and more. Brother's got 1 rib and you want 5, but you didn't even deal with that first one. But you want more? Be content with what you have. What you got? You got something? Finish it up.
But godliness with contentment is great gain.
You see that? But godliness with contentment is great gain. One of the most famous things they say in the world. Read verse 7.
For we brought nothing into this world.
Because what?
We brought nothing into this world.
You didn't bring anything in this world. When they say you came into this world naked, you're going to go out naked. Right? So what is the point of you being greedy in this time? What's the point of being selfish in this time? You didn't bring nothing to the table. You didn't come into the world and present the Most High with some spiritual gifts. No, he presented you with the gifts. He bestowed us with the gifts. Read.
And it is certain we can carry out nothing.
Read verse 8.
And having food and raiment,
right?
Let us be there with content.
See, we got to learn how to be more content with what the Most High has really given us. He said, listen, with food and clothing, be content.
Yeah, that's really like that Edomite mentality, man. We learned that Edomite mentality to where, you know, it says, for we brought nothing into this world, and it's certain we carry nothing out. But Esau, they got everything in this world, but the next world, they ain't having nothing. So they trying to fight for it all now.
Yep.
But that spirit is upon us.
Yeah, we gonna grab everything.
Yeah, and that's that covetous, devilish, not of the spirit of the Most High. And we learned it from our oppressors. That's the Esau mind frame. Because that's not of the Most High. That's not how Israelites are supposed to deal.
That's how no one is supposed to deal. Jump back to Isaiah. Let's finish that real quick.
Isaiah chapter 56.
Give it back.
Verse 11.
I don't want it. Read.
Second precept. And they are shepherds that cannot understand.
You know this goes into the pastors, right? But are we not all shepherds? Are we not shepherds of our own household? Yeah, so if you're a greedy Negro in your own house, if you're selfish, what are you promoting to your family?
Selfishness.
Selfishness. Right? It's not okay to give. You don't got to do that. It's not necessary. Yeah. So you're really a bad shepherd. That's why it says shepherds that don't understand. Read on.
They all look to their own way.
See, this is what the world teaches, man. Look out for self. Nobody got your back but yourself. Nobody's going to have your back better than you, right? Half of us can't even reach to scratch our back the right way. But so how you gonna have your own back? You ain't got eyes in the back of your head, man. Come on. A brother was born for adversity. A brother was supposed to be put there to have your back. Read.
Everyone for his gain.
Everyone for what?
His gain.
Yeah, everyone for his own gain, his own belly. Read.
From his quarter.
Right? From where?
His quarter.
You say you want to sit up in your house doing nothing and just benefiting and profiting. Read.
Verse 12. Come ye. Say they.
And this is what they say in the world.
I will fetch wine.
Right? We're going to drink. We're going to party. We're going to live it up, son. Read.
And we will fill ourselves with strong drink.
Yeah, we ain't gonna worry about them bums across the street. Them bum niggas, they ain't got nothing, B. We got it over here. Yeah. We gonna drink it up, party it up. We ain't gonna worry about the widow, the poor, the fatherless. Read.
And tomorrow shall be as this day.
And then tomorrow's gonna be like today, but better. We just gonna keep repeating the same things over and over and over. Somebody else give me Philippians 3:18, finish it up.
And much more abundant.
Right, but it's going to be better. It's going to be the same, but better. We're going to have more drink. We're going to oppress more people. We're going to not care about our people, but care about ourselves.
Yeah, that's why I said in the last day they're going to be drinking and giving into marriage and rioting.
Like in the days of Noah, yeah.
It's the same spirit.
It's that same lustful, selfish, greedy spirit. Read Philippians 3:18.
For many walk, of whom I have told you often.
Right. See, many people walk like this. Many walk like this. Paul had to warn the Philippians. So what are we doing? We're here to warn brothers and sisters. Examine yourself. Make sure you're not walking this way. Read.
And now tell you, even weeping,
right,
that they are the enemies of the cross of Christ.
So when you're greedy for gain, you're what?
An enemy of the cross of Christ.
Yeah, you're an enemy to what Christ went through. Because Christ said he came down and did what? He didn't come down for his own purpose. He came for the purpose of the Most High. But he came down not to be ministered unto, but to minister. I know you're going to go into it. But that's why Christ came. He didn't come to be ministered to.
That's what it's all about.
He came to minister. Read on.
Whose end is destruction.
Whose end is what?
Destruction.
Come on.
Whose God is their belly.
That's what's going to happen to this world. Why do you think this world, this America, has to be destroyed? It's all about the belly. It's all about the greed. But it said, whose end is prosperity?
Whose end is destruction.
Whose end is the kingdom?
Destruction.
Read on.
whose God is their better.
Yeah, you done committed idolatry with your own gut. You done committed idolatry with your feelings. Read on.
And whose glory is in their shame.
Right? See that glory, those things you glory in? Those things that you sacrifice and trade up for that selfishness, that's going to be your shame. Those same things that you say, you know what, I'm giving up the brotherhood for. I'm not going to be a brother. I'm not going to be a sister. Forget the nation. Those things are going to be your shame. Just like when you read in Isaiah 30, he said, woe to the rebellious people, right? Who cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, who go down to Egypt. It said, Egypt and Pharaoh will be your shame.
God.
You traded up for America, and what America hands you back? Homosexuality, bestiality.
A fake dream.
A dollar and a dream, right?
God.
That's what America handed you, but that's what you traded for. That's why a lot of our people are shamed. They're like, damn, this is what I sold out for?
America gave us an empty mind.
More, bro. It's more than impotence. But yeah, they did.
God.
But this is what we traded for.
God.
This is what that selfishness brought us. Read on, finish it up.
Who mind earthly things.
See, and that's what it's about, the earthly things. What can I taste? What can I touch? What can I drink? Feel? What can I look at? What can I drive? What can I put on?
God.
Read.
For our conversation is in heaven.
Where is it?
In heaven.
Come on.
From whence also we look for the Savior, the Lord, Jesus Christ.
Read verse 21.
Who shall change our vile body.
What is he going to do?
Change our vile body.
Yeah, when you looking on just your stuff, that's vile in the eyes of the Most High. When you greedy of gain, that's vile. It's filthy. It's disgusting. When you only looking at, when you're the one-man army, when you got brothers around, you the one-man sister, when you got sisters around, when you don't want to incorporate yourself, when you don't want to give yourself, the Most High said that's vile. He don't have to change that. Go ahead.
That it may be fashioned like unto his glorious body.
Right, because what was Yahweh Shai about? He was about the brethren. He was about the 12. He was about who wanted to roll with him and be joined to him. He gave himself. Right? Go ahead.
According to the working whereby he is able even to subdue all things unto himself.
Right. So, what were we not taught in this world? What were we not taught in this world? We were taught how to be greedy, selfish, little nigglets. Right? But what were we not taught?
Give me 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4.
1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4. Charity suffered long and is kind.
And this is what we weren't taught. We weren't taught charity. We weren't taught long suffering. We weren't taught be there for your brother. Help your brother out. If it's your last, be there for him. If he doesn't get it, you know what? Let me condescend to a lower state so that I can help this brother to get it. We have not been taught charity. We think that charity is me giving $1 to somebody that just wiped my window. We think that's charity. We think charity is us just passing out food. Nah, charity is you. Charity is you, like it says, we're going to hit it in Galatians 6 and 1. But the real charity is this. Charity is you restoring your brother or your sister to where they need to be. If you see them fall off the faith, charity is you putting them back on the faith. You clothing them, you shelter them, you build them up, you teaching them how to fish. Not just eat the fish, but how to fish. That's the real charity. That's what Christ taught us. Christ laid down his life for us. And all of those disciples that followed him, they learned the same and how to teach. To where it came down to us, to where now we're doing the same. That's the real charity. That's why it says, read it from the top.
Charity suffered long.
That's why it says charity suffereth long. It's filled with patience. It's filled with patience, and the works of charity lasts. It endures. Because even if you have an issue with a person, if you show them charity, they will never forget that. They'll never forget that. Go ahead.
Charity suffered long and is kind. Charity envieth not.
And see, charity envieth not. Ain't no ill will in it. Read.
Charity vaunteth Vaunted, not itself, and it's not puffed up.
Yeah, charity isn't boasting. It's not boasting about the things that you do. It's not puffed up. It's not, oh, look. But like you got these preachers, they pass out a turkey. Or you got these drug dealers, they pass out certain things, but they got to do it in front of the camera so you can see. If the camera ain't rolling, they don't want you to see. Go ahead.
Does not behave itself unseemly.
And this is the thing. Charity does not behave itself unseemly. Let me look that word up real quick. Unseemly. It means not fit or uncomely or indecent. Discords, let your seem slide. But yeah, it says indecent. Read that scripture again.
Does not behave itself unseemly.
Yeah, so charity is not going to behave itself indecent. We got to always be on top of ourselves if we actually have true charity, which is love.
Yeah. And then just the definition of charity, it says the disposition of heart which inclines men to think favorably of their fellow men, to think favorably of their fellow men, and to do them good.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, showing about you're literally caring about the next person. Bro, we don't care about nobody but ourselves. Charity. Caring about the next man so that the next man can care about the next man. And that man can care about the next man.
Hey, somebody on that, somebody give me Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 6. Just on this point. Hold where you're at. Well, you already got it.
Proverbs chapter 6 verse 6.
Go ahead.
Go to the ant, thou sluggard. Consider her ways and be wise.
Listen, an ant does not care about anything else but the ant next to it. Listen, man, we used to play with ants in Jamaica. I remember being young playing with ants.
All the time.
All the time, brother.
Ant farm.
And this is the thing.
Real ants in the ground.
Yeah.
We got no ant farm. We got an ant hill. Right? Yeah.
Listen, if you hurt one ant, it's crazy to see this, man. If you hurt an ant, and that ant can't walk no more, you'll see all the other ants come and grab this ant. They'll risk their lives. You're there. You can hurt them. They look right at you and they run out and they grab that ant and they run him back into the tunnel. They heal him up. They don't just leave him there to die. Sometimes I think, I'm trying to remember if you actually kill one of the ants, if they don't come and get the body as well. They do?
They don't leave them out there.
They don't leave them.
They go and they get their brother. So read that from the top, verse 6.
Go to the ant, thou sluggard. Consider her ways and be wise.
Listen, everything about an ant, I highly recommend that we all watch a documentaries regarding ants.
Oh yeah.
Because it's real. How does the Most High look at us? The Most High looks at us like we're ants. Like we're ants. That's why I said we don't need to be prideful. What are we? What is man that you're thoughtful of him? That's what David said to the Most High. We ain't nothing but ants. But the Most High wants us to be like them. The ants, I'm pretty sure the ants look at us like we're gods.
And the ants have something called a hive mind. Where they're all in the same mind, man. The same mind frame, the same knowledge, same opinions, same thoughts, same movement. And that's what makes them move the way they do. They're on the same objective.
Not one ant is better than the other ant. Unless you got that queen ant, which for us would be Christ. But other than that, ain't no ant better than another ant. We all do the same thing. We all sacrifice the same. We all put in the same works. We got to really consider, look at an ant and see, why did the Most High say, consider an ant? The smallest thing. An ant working together in unison can take down damn near every animal. Damn near every animal. Why? Because they're unified. Ain't nobody telling them do this, do that. They just do it. Ain't nobody telling them, hey, protect your brother, be there for your brother, just do it. If your brother's hurt, go help your brother.
They're like, nah, I don't feel like going to work today. I can't do that. I can't pull up that little ball with homie, with 5, 10 of them. I can't do that today. I'm going to relax. I don't feel good.
Ants there for each other. Go back to 1 Corinthians 13 and 5.
Does not behave itself unseemly.
Read.
See seeketh not her own.
Yeah, charity doesn't seek her own. It's not about her. Just like the ant. That ant ain't giving. You ever seen an ant just stay outside and just devour the food? Nah, the ant gets the other ants, and they all grab the food and they all bring it into the tunnel.
They all form a train in unity. They send signals to each other. They mark a path, and they break that food apart. And first and foremost, they take it to the queen. That's what they do. They feed that queen. They feed the little baby ants that are little larvae. They feed those things first. Then they feed themselves after. Look it up. You can look it up, man. Ants are one of the most, they're one of the most, it's funny, they're like one of the smallest things on this earth. But they're one of the most powerful things because they unify, they care about each other, and they do things in unity. There's no ant that's by himself. You'll never see it. They're a colony. They work as such.
Yeah.
Just like bees, man. Beehives, they're all about, when you go into that hive to try to disturb it, they're all about protecting that larvae, protecting that queen. They'll kamikaze die, stinging you and die to protect that queen.
Yeah.
To protect the next one next to them.
Yeah, give me somebody give me Philippians 2 and 4. Philippians 2 and 4.
Philippians chapter 2 verse 4.
Because this is exactly what's in the mind of the ant. This is how they move, man. Read.
Look not every man on his own thing.
See, the ant ain't looking about his own thing. He not looking at little me old ant here. Cause look how I am. The little weak guy. I'm the little small one. Bro, one person, that's why it says, woe to him that's left alone. One ant, you're done. One of us, we're done. Think how much unity a husband and wife have. How much power. When you bring your funds together, when you bring your thought process together, when you bring, whatever else you might cultivate together. Look how powerful that is. Yeah. But for one man to look out for himself, listen, you're doomed. That's why it says destruction in other scriptures. But keep reading.
Look not every man on his own things.
Come on.
But every man also on the things of others.
See, but the ant is looking at the bigger picture. They're looking at the hive. They're looking at the whole compound. Listen, we got to get this bug in here so we can take all the meat off its body. We can feed the family, little shelter. Listen, man, it's starting to rain. We got to pound up some more rocks and stuff like that. Together, though.
They say adjusting that voice, too.
Right? For real. Y'all ain't see ants? But no. Read that again.
Look not every man on his own things.
Come on.
But every man also on the things of others.
See, that's what we should be thinking about the things of others, man. We're so concentrated on our own selves, on our own family, on our own flesh. We don't care about nobody else. But read.
Let this mind be in you.
See, that mind should be in you about other people. Come on, man. The truth is more than just F Esau. Esau's going in the chains. Come on, how though? Is one of y'all gonna take Esau in the chains by yourself? Huh? Which one of y'all got a ray gun that can just slide off the whole military? Which one of y'all got that? You think Christ is coming down here by himself? He can, but what is he doing? He got others with him. Legions. Unity. It ain't just about one person. Read.
Which was also in Christ Jesus.
Come on, man. Christ had the same mind. That's why he had the 12 disciples with him, man. Teaching all the other people about selflessness. It ain't just about me. Listen, leave your flocks. Leave your nets. I'm going to make you fishers of men. Not just fishers for yourself.
Yes, sir. Ecclesiastes chapter 23, verse 6. I should have brought this out earlier. And another brother gave me Genesis chapter 2 and verse 14. So this what we're going to go into is the mindset, right? The mindset to have and the mindset not to have. The mindset that's going to lead you into the kingdom. The mindset that's going to lead you straight to the pit. Straight to the pit of hell. It's going to be Ecclesiastes chapter 23 and verse 6. Go ahead.
Let not the greediness of the belly nor the lust of the flesh take hold of me.
Yeah, don't let the things that I want, the things that I care about, my selfish flesh, not the spiritual man, but the fleshly man, let not that take hold of me. Read.
And give not over me thy servant into an impudent mind.
Because when it takes over you, you end up having a what?
Impudent mind.
Somebody look up the definition for impudent. And somebody else give me Genesis chapter 2, Genesis chapter 3, verse 14.
Impudent, shameless, bold with contempt of others, saucy. No, it actually says saucy.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, your mind's
saucy. Oh,
yeah.
Like, yeah, she's
just like scrambled.
No, like it's a saucy.
Like almost like bold. So
yeah,
that's what it's going into.
Rude.
Yeah.
Like
bold with contempt of others. Yep. Wanting modesty.
Yeah, like you know how your parents say, like, man, you acting fresh. You acting fresh.
Like brand new.
You acting brand new. Yeah. She's saucy. She acting saucy.
God. Who got Genesis chapter 3, verse 14? Nah.
Genesis.
Another brother give me Genesis 3:14. Read it. Ecclesiastes 23 and 6 again.
Ooh.
Hold up.
Let not the greediness of the belly, nor lust of the flesh take hold of me, and give not over me thy servant into an impudent mind.
What's up, Zion?
Impudent mind, not showing due respect for another person.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 14. Let's go into this impudent mind and the lust of the belly. Where did it start from? Read that. Genesis 3, verse 14.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 14. And the Most High God said unto the Salah. And the Most High God said unto the serpent,
Go ahead.
because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle.
Read.
And above every beast of the field.
You're going to read the end of verse 14, and we're going to read it from the top again. Go ahead.
Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life.
Let that marinate. This is the Most High talking to Satan, giving Satan his curse. Read it from the top. Let's break it down. Go ahead.
And the Most High God said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle.
So listen, when you follow the greediness of your belly, when you're selfish, when it's all about you, you're cursed above all cattle. Forget the beasts, forget the animals. You're cursed above every creature that moves. Why? Because you know better, but you don't do better. You have the laws of the Most High with you. You have wisdom. You have understanding. You have something that the Most High didn't even give the animals. You have that, but you're choosing not to use it. It was better that you never have it was better for you to have never learned it. And worse than that, you're worse than Esau. You're worse than the Chinese man that's serving everybody dogs. You're worse than the Edomite that's letting dogs do their things to him. You're worse than that. Why? Because you're not using the wisdom and the knowledge of the Most High. You're not following Christ's path. Christ said, lay down your life for your brethren. You don't want to follow that, so guess what? You're worse. You're cursed above all cattle. Read.
And above every beast and above every beast of the field.
Every nation that's under this earth, you're cursed above them. Why? Because the Most High called you to be something better. He calls you to be a peculiar people unto himself. But you don't want that. So guess what? All these beastly nations that we always talk down upon, you're cursed above them. You're worse than them.
You know what's funny about those dirty Africans and those filthy Chinese people that everybody talks about?
They got unity.
Bro, they'll make sure that their people are coming on them boats, however they get here. And what will they do? Make sure they got a place to stay.
Pack all in one house.
Yeah, they'll pack them all in one house, in one car, make sure they get to work, have a place to stay until they can branch out. They do some of the most unselfish things for their people. They make sure that their people are taken care of.
Listen, even the fake Jewish people.
The fake Jews they make communities for their people. Come on.
Oh, and we actually in it right now, just to let y'all know.
Yeah, we right down the street from a little Jewish community.
They actually have the whole block down here and all the way down Fountain.
Listen, I remember going to Eastern Parkway in New York, and the Jews, they own that. The fake Jews. Bro, they were trying to get Labor Day parade kicked off the block. Now Labor Day parade is a big, it's a big celebration, whatever. But they got it shrunk down to where it's not what it used to be. Why? Because they unified. They looked out for each other. Let something happen to one of them. They got their own police. They make sure that things get handled. They look out.
Yeah.
You need something? Oh, I got it. You need something? Oh, I got it. They got things set up for each other. And they don't even got no wisdom. They just know that we got to be here for each other. The Bible ain't telling them a brother is born through adversity. Lay down your life. They ain't reading that. It's something in them that's not naturally in Israel for them to say, you know what? Let me look out for my brother. This is how you build. This is how you establish things. That's why you have a Chinatown in Houston. That's why you have a Chinatown in every major city.
With their writings on the stoplights.
That's why you have a Little Italy. That's why you have the Greeks. The Greeks. You have a Greek little area in every little. You go to Colorado, there's a Greek area, just Greek people. Yeah.
The Greek
Why though? Because I'm gonna look out for you and make sure I'm not selfish as hell, and you're gonna look out for me. We're gonna make sure that if we're going through some hard times, and I got it, you got it too. Right. That's how these other people operate. We gotta get a lot better. Go ahead.
Come. Up on thy belly shall thy go.
Listen, it's a curse that we go upon our bellies. Anything that our senses go crazy after, it's a shame. It's a curse that we move off of it. Go ahead. It's a curse that we move off after our. I want to eat, so let me go eat. I want to poke, so let me go poke. I want to drink, so let me go drink. I want to sleep, so let me go sleep. It's a curse for our flesh to have that much power over us.
Where there's no fight. It's like
none.
Hungry. And then the next thing you know, you gotta have food stuffed in your face, so you just gonna get emotional. Go crazy.
I dedicated myself to a fast, but it's like the food just makes me break it every time. I'm supposed to be fasting from something, but as soon as it appears to me like I can't stop, I know that I'm not supposed to be doing this. If Christ came right now and he caught me doing this, I'm done. I'm done for. I'm gonna risk heaven for this blunt, for this weed, for this chick,
for my own time,
for my anger,
for my own time,
for my lack of care,
for my own time,
for my brother that isn't all the way there yet.
Right? Wait, he says Spanish people are the same way. They are to an extent because they've been programmed. And are you talking about like Spanish speaking Israel or Spaniards? Be clear, but I know Spanish speaking Israelites, right? Our Mexicans, El Salvadorians, and them, they'll stick together, but what will they do? They'll hate on their brother, which is the so-called Negroes, the Benjamites, right? The Haitians. Go look at the island of Haiti and Dominican Republic. Right? If you dark, some of our Israelite brothers aren't all the way dark like that. But what are they doing? They're hating on each other. Yep. There is no brotherhood there. So, yeah, we've been conditioned. We've been conditioned out of that brown pride, black power, let's come together. We've been conditioned out of that and conditioned into let's hate each other. Right? That's what we've been conditioned to. So, go ahead, read on.
Actually, go ahead and go to 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 32. The point that I wanted to bring out, it's like you were just saying. We've been conditioned to hate our own people, right? But that's a curse. And that's a terrible curse. Because when you look at... What's up?
Oh, go ahead. Before y'all go there, go to Proverbs 15:27.
And that's a terrible curse because when you look at these nations that don't have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Most High, they don't even live like that. They don't even have that. When you look at these Hamitic tribes in Africa that walk around with spears and got the things on their necks, that have absolutely no wisdom when it comes to dealing with the Most High, that'll eat anything, even a human.
That'll take a shower under a cow's butt.
That'll stick his head in a cow's butt.
To bathe himself in cow urine.
Even they have unity.
Yeah, they'll unify in bathing in cow urine. And they'll make sure that there's enough left for the brother next to him. Like, I got peed on long enough. Let me make sure that you get peed on. Right? I'm going to make sure we both getting peed on by a cow. There's enough pee to go around to everybody. That's how they do it. But Israel is like, nigga, nah. I came to America. They gave me a good job. Got me a good old job. I ain't getting no niggas on. You don't want to get your brother on a job. You don't want to refer him. No, I can't destroy my name. Hell nah. That's how brothers be thinking. Like, nah, hey, we ain't hiring. We ain't hiring, dog.
Oh, you short 10 cents? You talking short 10 cents? I can't.
I ain't got it. Nope.
No, bro, my register can't be short, though.
Right, a penny?
Not 10 cents. But yeah, man, that's a terrible curse, man, for us to have on ourselves. And we really got to check ourselves to see. We really got to check ourselves to see, man, do I have this in me? Because we're going to go into it more. We're going to go into it more, but this is what the Most High requires of us, to not have this. The nations got it, but if we can just get this, oh man, it's over. It's over for them. That's why they work so hard to make sure that we don't get it.
Yeah, that's why they call it COINTELPRO. They bring COINTELPRO in to disrupt the unity, man. To bring in adversity, bring in tension, bring in hatred, disloyalty or dishonesty. That's COINTELPRO, man. It's not the Most High.
This is why they give you, and then they give you different amounts of benefits to keep you what? Wanting the benefits, whether it be the food stamps, the welfare, the whatever. They give you that so you can keep searching for that and not looking for the unity. Right? Go to Proverbs. What did I call?
10 and 27.
Read.
Proverbs chapter 10 verse 27. The fear.
No, 15.
Proverbs chapter 15 verse 27.
Read.
He that is greedy of gain.
He that is what?
Greedy of gain.
Come on.
Troubleth his own house.
Right, because that greed, that greed and that selfishness to want to hoard it, you do what?
He that is greedy of gain troubleth his own house.
Yeah, you're gonna destroy your house. You think you're building it because they think that gain is godly, but the Most High is not really with that, because all you want is to do is what? What is it all about? Consuming it on your lust.
To be
right?
boastful.
Huh?
To be boastful about it.
You want to boast about it. You were doing it to be covetous, right? You weren't looking to get what it is you wanted to distribute. Watch. Go to Acts real quick. Go to Acts 5. Go to Acts 4. Right? Let's read this story real quick with Ananias. Oh yeah. Only focus on their belly, right? Yeah, go to Acts chapter 4. Start at verse 33. Acts chapter 4 and verse 33. Read.
And with great power gave the apostles witness of the resurrection of the Lord Yahushua.
Go to verse 32.
32. And the multitude of them that believed were of one heart.
They were of what?
Of one heart.
See, they were in the same mind, same judgment, speaking the same things. 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 10. Read. No, read. Where you at? I'm just quoting it. Read.
And of one soul.
And of one soul. Come on.
Neither said any of them that aught of the things which is possessed was his own.
See, they had possessions, but none of them was like, nigga, this is mine. This is all me. Back up. Because there was something greater on the line. Read.
But they had all things common.
But they had what?
All things common.
Why? Because as we read down, nobody was sitting there in a selfish mind except for one person. Read on.
And with great power gave the apostles witness of the resurrection of the Lord Yahushua.
Read verse 34.
Neither was there any among them that lacked.
You see what that lack of selfishness did? None of them what?
Lacked.
No one lacked, because no one was sitting there like, that's my food, you can't ask for it. Or that's my fish and bread, nigga, don't look at me. Or I'm a cook and nobody else is going to get none. No, nobody was doing that in this instance. Read.
Whereas many as were possessors of lands,
right,
or houses, sold them and brought the prices of the things that were sold.
Wait, they brought the prices and hid it?
Brought the prices of the things that were sold.
They sold it and ran off and lived happily ever after.
Brought the prices of the things that were sold.
Read on.
And laid them down at the apostles' feet.
Come on, man. They sold their land and houses and laid it down at the apostles' feet. There was no selfishness here. There was no, oh, I'm going to sell it and guess what? I'm going to disappear. Read on.
And distribution was made unto every man according as he had need.
See, it was about what a man needed. It wasn't about, let me have that extra. Even when you go into dealing with Moses in the wilderness, and when he commanded the children of Israel to gather the mammon, but gather the amount that you needed. Don't get no extra, right? Get what you needed. And when we got extra, what happened? it molded and disintegrated right there the next day. When you try to store up extra, you go back to go, you open them cupboards and go look, man, that thing molded in a day. Because it wasn't meant for you to get extra. It was meant to you to deal with what you needed, not to be greedy. Why? So everybody could be the same, in the same mind. Now I'm not looking at you just grubbing and I'm sitting here starving. Or you got an abundance and you so greedy you don't want to give it up. So the Most High said what? I'm going to just let it spoil. Go ahead, read.
And it's a Joseph.
And Joseph.
And Joseph, who by the apostles was surnamed Barnabas,
right?
Which is being interpreted, the son of consolation,
read.
A Levite, and of the country of Cyprus.
Read.
Having land, sold it and brought the money, and laid it at the apostles' feet.
Even Barnabas humbled down and did it. Read on.
That's it.
No, read verse 5 and 1. Read on.
But a certain man named Ananias, with Sapphira, his wife, sold a possession.
Right, so they sold their land. Read.
And kept back part of the price.
They did what?
Kept back part of the price.
Read on.
His wife also being privy to it.
Yeah, and his wife knew it. Come on.
And brought a certain part and laid it at the apostles' feet.
Right, she was like, yeah, this is what we sold it for. They sold it for 100, they only brought 50. Read on.
But Peter said, Ananias, why hath Satan filled thine heart?
Wait, that greed is what?
Satan filled thine heart.
Wait, that selfishness is what?
Satan filled thine heart.
Yeah, Satan is filling our hearts, man. That greedy of gain, that greedy of that selfish spirit, when all of a sudden I can no longer lay my life down for my brother, I can't bear the infirmities of the weak. That's what?
Satan filled thine heart.
Satan had filled your heart. Read on.
To lie to the Holy Spirit.
Read.
And to keep back part of the price of the land.
Now this is what happens to such individuals. Read.
Whilst it remained, was it not thine own?
Come on.
And after it was sold, was it not in thine own power?
Right? Didn't you control what was going on? Read on.
Why hast thou conceived this thing in thine heart?
Right?
Thou hast not lied unto men, but unto the Most High.
Yeah, that selfish spirit, man. You are being selfish towards the Most High. First and foremost. Read on.
And Ananias, hearing these words, fell down and gave up the ghost.
Yeah. This man died on the spot. Read on. What happened to his wife? Read.
And great fear came on all them that heard these things.
You got brothers that's like, yeah, you my rib. You can't do nothing for the body. I'm gonna protect her. I'm gonna make sure that she's not available for anything that the camp needs. You got brothers like that, man. It's my rib. Khan, you're right. She is your rib. We don't want her. But it said there's parts of the body. And everybody got to put in their brick. Everybody got to put their hand to the plow. But no, she's mine. So now you teach her the evil lesson against you. You got her doing some foolishness. What happens to her? Read on.
And the young men arose, wound him up, and carried him away out, and buried him. And it was about the space of 3 hours after, when his wife, not knowing what was done, came in.
Read.
And Peter answered unto her, Tell me whether ye sold the land for so much. And she said, Yea, for so much. Then Peter said unto her, How is it that ye have agreed together to tempt the Spirit of the Lord?
Yeah, like what the hell is wrong with y'all? Y'all know damn well you didn't sell that land for no $50. You know you sold it for $150. See, that greed turns you with that greedy for gain. You know what it turns you into? A liar. Because now you got to lie, rob, and steal to get what you want. Read.
To tempt the Spirit of the Lord. Behold, the feet of them which have buried thy husband are at the door.
Yeah, they're ready for you. Read.
And shall carry thee out. Then fell she down straightway at his feet, and yielded up the goats.
You see that? So she died. So we got to be careful of that greedy spirit, man. That thing turns into lust, lying, selfishness. Right? Jump back. So jump back real quick to that Proverbs 15:27. Now we get an understanding of what Proverbs 15:27 is saying. Read.
He that is greedy of gain.
He that is greedy for gain or selfish. Come on.
Troubleth his own house.
Yeah, bro. You ain't troubling nothing else but your own house. You're bringing destruction on yourself. Because now you're going to teach the ones in your house to be greedy. So when you need something, your little kids are going to be like, nah, Papa, that's mine. Your wife is going to be like, nigga, nah, that's mine.
Right.
Y'all see that? Where we gonna go now? 1 Corinthians?
1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 24.
Nice. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 24.
Go ahead.
Let no man seek his own.
Yeah, that's what Ananias and Sapphira did. They seek their own. And that's what we can't do. When Christ came, Christ did not seek his own. But what did Christ seek? Read.
But every man another's wealth.
Yeah, Christ seeked his whole nation. He seeked his disciples. He seeked the prosperity of his nation. That's the same with us. We seek the prosperity of others. Not just their pockets. I know it says wealth, but not just their pockets, but everything. Wealth in your family, wealth in your spirit, wealth at your job, so that you know how to deal with the people at your job, wealth in health, wealth in everything, wealth in wisdom, wealth in all your negative characteristics so you can be better at it. It's like the scripture says, it's nothing all of a sudden for the Most High to make a poor man rich. But it's not just talking about money, it's talking about rich in all areas. Rich in literally everything you can think of, the fruits of the Spirit. We're not just seeking our own fruits of the Spirit, we're seeking the fruits of the Spirit of our brothers and sisters as well.
God.
1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 22. But if a brother or a sister is lacking, in a certain area, what do? Read this.
1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 22.
Go ahead.
To the weak became I as weak.
And this is the thing, man. Yeah, we might be at a level, but we understand that there's always going to be brothers and sisters, no matter where we go or no matter where we're at, that's not on our level. So what do we have to do? Read it from the top.
To the weak became I as weak.
We have to become weak with them. We gotta say, man, let me have some charity towards this brother, and let me try to understand this brother.
Yeah, condescending to them. You don't want to become weak with them and fall into their weakness per se.
Yeah, not that.
At least condescend to understand what they're dealing with.
Right.
But see, a lot of brothers don't want to do that because the selfishness in them is like, I ain't got time for that. I gotta go drink. I gotta go party. I got a couple video games to go play. My house, my rib, my other rib, my other rib I'm trying to get. The chicks on Snapchat, the chicks on Facebook, and this person, and my mama and them. That's where your mind can't be there. Your mind got to be on the brotherhood, the sisterhood, the nation. Go ahead.
That I might gain the weak.
Because you have to gain them. Remember, Christ said to the Father, all that you have given me, I have not lost any. But think about it. None of them was given to Christ 100% on point. They walked with him for years. They walked with him for years while they were weak until they became strong. And it's the same with us. We don't want to lose no brother or no sister. We want to help turn that weakness into strength. Why? Because all Israel is weak. All of us is weak. Go ahead.
I have made all things to all men, that I might by all means save some.
Because we have to save them. That's our job. That's what we've been called for. Romans chapter 12, verse 16. Romans chapter 12 and verse 16. Because we have to save our brothers and sisters. That's what the whole work. That's what the whole work is about. Go ahead.
Romans chapter 12, verse 16. Be of the same mind one toward another. Mind not high things.
Read.
But condescend to men of low estate.
Condescend to men of low estate. Again, not talking about their pockets. That's that lower state spiritually, where it says that you're a babe. You're a babe in the spirit. Just like if you have a baby, you gotta condescend to that baby.
Yeah, you gotta wake up when it wakes
You gotta
up.
wake up. You can't sleep because she's not sleeping or he's not sleeping. They only sleep in a certain way.
Now you learning.
Yeah, it's real. You can't do what you want to do.
That's selfish. Because that selfishness, that me time, that's gone. That me, well, it's my time. I'm gonna sit here and chill. No, you're not. You about to sit here, feed me, burp me, change this diaper, try to put me to sleep for hours. By the time you look up, 6 hours done roll by, the baby's still up. And all parents know what's up.
Baby want to sleep during the day, but not
during the night. Because guess what? It's no longer your time. That's her time. That's her time. But think about it. Now transition that over to getting the knowledge. See, it ain't about you. It ain't about you. It ain't about, oh, I'm tired. Well, you better sacrifice that sleep and study. Or I want to go party. You better not. Or I want to go drink. Or I want to go kick it with this person. It ain't your time. It got to be transitioned over. It's no longer your time. Your time is his time. His time is your time. My time is your time. I mean, think about it. If I rolled in that, it's my time, y'all would never see me.
Right.
Straight up.
Right.
Y'all would never see me. I'd be at the crib like, there's this scripture. Bam. Doing my own thing. If it was about being selfish with my time, come on. Come on, man. Y'all, I'm just being straight up. But I understand that it's not my time anymore. This is the time that I've been allotted to make a difference and to help. To be that example. Go ahead.
Galatians chapter 5, verse 13. This is the scripture I was looking for.
You found it?
Yeah. It's perfect.
Do you want to finish that?
Bye. Galatians chapter 5 and verse 13.
Galatians chapter 5, verse 13.
Go ahead.
For brethren, ye have been called unto liberty.
Somebody look up the definition of liberty. Because this is what we've been called unto. All of us in class, all of us online, we've been called unto the Most High's liberty. Read.
Freedom from arbitrary or despotic government or control. Freedom from external or foreign rules. Freedom from control, interference, obligations, restrictions, hampering, conditions.
So listen, key word, freedom. Read it from the top.
Freedom from control.
Not scripture.
For brethren, ye have been called unto liberty.
Remember, the scripture tell you, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you what?
Free.
Free. So we got called unto freedom. Christ said, take my yoke upon you, for my burden is light. What you was going to say, Max?
Oh, it's another definition for liberty.
Go ahead.
It says, freedom from restraint, in a general sense and applicable to the body, or to the will, or mind. The body is at liberty when not confined. The will or mind is at liberty when not checked or controlled. A man enjoys liberty when no physical force operates to restrain his actions or violations.
So, this is the thing. It's freedom, right? But what are we really free from? We're free from the world because they're not free. Their minds is gone. Their minds is done. They're not free. They're a slave to the system. They're a slave to America. They're a slave to everything that they, like the scripture said in Psalms chapter 83, they've taken crafty counsel against our people. They're a slave to that crafty counsel, whereas us, we're free from that crafty counsel. Read it from the top.
For brethren, ye have been called unto liberty.
Go ahead.
Only use not liberty for an occasion to the flesh.
So don't use the Most High's liberty for an occasion to your flesh. Listen, this liberty that the Most High has blessed us with, this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, at first, like the scripture says in Ecclesiastes chapter 6, it feels like it's chains on you, but then what? It turns into gold. Listen, with this liberty, we can literally do what we want to do. We have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Most High. We can do what we want to do. We can talk to any chick and get them.
In righteousness.
In righteousness.
You gotta say that.
Because
they'll be like, you can? And then all of a sudden, Yeah, you got to say that.
In righteousness. With this knowledge and this wisdom that the Most High has given us, if we wanted to, we could talk to any lady. We could become managers at any jobs, especially us in this body dealing with how we deal. We could run any business we want to. We could run that whole car. We could run any business we want to.
But what prevents it? What prevents it is that selfish spirit. Where are you at?
Galatians chapter 5, verse 13.
Go ahead.
For brethren, ye have been called unto liberty. Only use not liberty for an occasion to the flesh.
Yeah, we can't use this for an occasion to the flesh. The things that we've been blessed with now, we can't just use it for an occasion to the flesh. The Most High bless us with this. We can't use it. We can't use it. How do I put this? We can't use it. We can't misuse it. That's the word I'm looking for.
You can't use it for filthy lucre. The scriptures say taking the oversight, right? But not for filthy lucre. What gives us the right to take the oversight of anything? It's the wisdom that the Most High gave us. The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to understand. This is how you lead the body. This is how you lead a school, a camp. This is how you help a brother guide his house, right? Taking the oversight, but not for filthy lucre.
Yeah, we don't use it for wickedness.
We don't use the wisdom for wickedness or for our gain. That's why it talks about a bishop, right? It says that a man that desires the work of a bishop desire a good work, but he can't be greedy for gain. He can't be greedy of filthy lucre, but it specifically says he can't be greedy. He can't be covetous, right? It talks about a bishop and it talks about a deacon. You can't be greedy or covetous. You can't use the wisdom to gain. Remember, they think that gain is godliness. Go ahead.
Can't use it for selfishness.
Right.
Go ahead.
But by love, serve one another.
But by what?
Love, serve one another.
See, our job is to serve one another. We've been awoken with this truth to serve one another, to learn His word. If you're studying, you're not studying for yourself. You're studying for your brother. You're studying for your sister.
Right, because it said the righteous studieth to answer.
Yeah, we're studying to help our brothers that's lacking in their lives. Like, we're not studying to find out if the earth is flat or not.
Or just studying to have a bunch of information. But you got a lot of selfish brothers and sisters online that do what? Well, I'm studying, right? But are you studying to counsel? Are you studying to help the next man? The scriptures say that the righteous studieth to answer.
Right.
So what are you studying for? But see, if you got that selfish spirit in you, it's like, I'm just studying for knowledge. I'm just studying so I have it. So then what do they end up doing? And they said it perfect online. This is what they end up doing. I'm going to go right back to the comments. The brother made a good comment. He said, I feel like that's why a lot of our people don't come into the truth, because they want to keep doing what they want to do. It's absolutely true. I'm going to keep doing what I want to do, but I'm going to get the knowledge. So what was one of the things that a person was wanting to do? They wanted to be by themselves. They didn't want to give their time to the next man. They didn't want to give their time up. Well, no, I'm using my time to study. But who are you studying for?
You know, I always bring this out. I remember when I first learned the truth, the first person I went to was my uncle. So I was like, man, if there's anybody in the family that might know anything about this, it'll be you. So I went to him. He was all happy. He was like, oh, man, you knew the tribe of Benjamin? Yeah. Come here, let me show you something. He showed me all these books.
That you never knew he had.
That I never knew. I knew he had books.
Oh, but you
That's what I was saying. That was the first person I went to.
Right.
And he showed me all these books, and I was like, what about the Bible, though? So, with the point that we're on, is like, you study for your brother. You study for your sister.
Right.
Our whole lives, like, he's never came to any of us and been like, man, you're an Israelite. You're from the tribe of Benjamin. This is why we go through what we go through. When I was coming up and I was young and he seen the dumb mistakes that I was making, he never, bro, stop doing that. Look, he never did any of that. What did he do? He studied for himself. Not to go a little off topic too, but he was that brother where on the Sabbath, he went into his closet, no joke,
On the Sabbath, he goes into his closet. Doesn't turn the light on. He's in the closet all night, all day until the sun goes back, until the sun comes back up. His wife says I never talked to him about it, but his wife, my auntie, says that he's in there praying. He probably in there sleeping.
Got him a pillow, DVD player.
Yeah, he's like praying, bro. 12 hours straight.
Yeah, stop. So, he's that same brother that does that, but when you look at it, the scripture's telling you, man, we do all this to serve one another. This is what it's all about. Christ came to serve. Christ came down here and washed the apostles' feet.
Can I get one just on that point? Go to Proverbs 18:1. Proverbs 18. Just on that whole point of I'm gathering knowledge. I'm gathering, but somebody else find me the one there that says the righteous study the answer.
That's 15:28.
Proverbs, right?
Yeah.
No, it's not. Okay. Yeah, there it is. You're right. Read that. Proverbs 18:1.
Proverbs chapter 18, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Through desire a man having separated himself.
Yeah, it says through desire a man having separated himself. This is not a righteous desire. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to separate myself to Christ, or I'm going to separate myself to the body. He's literally severing himself from everyone through his own desire. Right? Because you got brothers and sisters like this. Like, I gotta get myself right. Right? So what do? They leave the body. They leave the body, but the body was supposed to help get you right. Right? When they think that I'm gonna separate myself, I'm gonna be selfish with my time, I'm gonna use my time for me, get me right, but that's not really what it's about. This is what it's about. Read.
God seeketh and intermeddleth.
And he seeketh and intermeddleth. Go ahead.
With all wisdom.
Yeah, because now it's no longer about using. Let me study the Bible to be able to help. It's all about let me get the knowledge. Let me get the wisdom. Right? Let me make sure I got it in my head. Let me make sure that I know. Let me make sure that if a cat come against me, I'm gonna be able to battle. I'm gonna be able to cut him. Right? I'm going to be able to cut that cat. I'm going to be able to put him in his place. I'm going to check him. Right? I got all the knowledge so that if anybody comes up and says anything, guess what? I'm going to spit a bunch of knowledge.
Like an Egyptologist.
I'm going to spit you're like an Egyptologist. You just got a bunch of knowledge. But what does the scripture say about knowledge? It says that knowledge puffeth up. Charity edifieth, right? Right. We all got knowledge, but it says knowledge puffs you up. That's why it comes back and says this. Go to that Proverbs 15:28.
Proverbs chapter 15, verse 28.
Go ahead.
The heart of the righteous studieth to answer.
You see that? The heart of the righteous studieth to answer. Meaning, I'm studying so I can, because if you're answering questions, what does that mean?
You're helping. Oh.
You're helping. No, you're right. You're helping. You're there to be questioned. But most importantly, you're looking at the state of affairs of everybody else. And you're saying, man, what does this brother need? Well, let me make sure I'm on point with that topic. What does he need? What does the sister need? What does that family need? So I'm studying to answer the questions that are needed. A brother come to you with marital problems, what you gonna give him? The earth is flat? Well, you know the earth is 4 pillars and blah, 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 blah.
Or that eye of Horus is really your pineal gland. And
yeah, calcify your pineal gland.
Yeah.
The brother needs he needs marriage counsel, but you're giving him pineal gland answers. Decalcify the pineal gland. You going into how black Christ was. Like, come on. But that's that selfish. That's that selfish spirit that a lot of Israel got. A lot of you keyboard gangsters, sorry, gotta say it. They call them Facebookalites. Man, you keyboard warriors.
It's like the brother that in the mall told me that Israel is really in California. Because,
oh, come on.
Because that's where you find cedar trees.
Right. See stuff like that?
Like
where you get that from? Like the cedars in Lebanon? So Lebanon is Cali? But Cali is burning. Ain't it?
God.
I mean, but think about it. You just got to see, man, the righteous studieth the answer. So a righteous man, an unselfish man is going to be around to see the problems find the answers and then deliver the answer. Not say, well, I'm going to study that, but I'm going to study to myself. Y'all get that?
Yeah. Back in Galatians 5:13. Read verse 13 and 14, and then we're going to jump to 15 and 12.
Galatians chapter 5, verse 13.
Go ahead.
For brethren, ye have been called unto liberty. Only use not liberty for an occasion to the flesh, but by love serve one another.
Because it's very easy for us to use this for our own benefit, use it for our own selfish desires. But the scripture is telling you to do the complete opposite with this knowledge and wisdom and this liberty that the Most High has blessed us with. He's telling us to use it what? To serve one another. Because it's about the next man. It's about the next ants. Read.
For all the law is fulfilled in one word.
Listen, man, this whole book, this whole Bible, everything that we're fighting for, everything from page to page, from Cain and Abel, all the way to Christ and Judas Iscariot, to the apostles and the disciples. It's all fulfilled in one word. Read.
Even in this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
We gotta love each other as ourselves, man. If I know that I'm weak at something, I would hate if somebody just didn't care that I'm weak at it, and they treat me like crap because I'm weak at it. They don't have no sympathy, no care, no love to help me to get through the situation. You would hate that too. Think about your strengths and your weaknesses. Think about brothers that put up with your weaknesses constantly. Think about how your parents put up with your weaknesses constantly. And this is the thing. It's about us helping to strengthen those brothers and sisters so that those weaknesses ain't strengths no more. They can be meat for the master's use. The whole thing is summed up in this one word. Read verse 14 again.
For all the law is fulfilled in one word. Even in this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
If we say, man, this is what it's all about, because that's what it's supposed to be about. But if we make that our goal every day, we'll be fine. Like the scripture says, we're gonna make our entrance into heaven sure. I think that's 1 Peter's. But if we take that and make that the main goal, we're going to make it into heaven, man. We're going to make that entrance sure, because what did Christ do? Christ came for that very purpose. Go to John chapter 15, verse 13. That was one. Oh, John.
St. John chapter 15, verse 34. St. John chapter 13.
No, 15 to 12.
Oh. St. John chapter 15, verse 12. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends.
And that's what it's about. We got to lay down our life for our friend, for our brother. What does that mean? You lay down your life. That means I got to lay down my family, my job, my thoughts.
That doesn't mean you really got to just kill yourself. So you got to lay down your life, you got to walk in traffic for your brother. That's not what it's saying. What it's saying is that you're caring more for what your brother is going through. You're doing the things necessary to help him stay on point. You're giving things up. Not by force, like, oh, I got to. You're doing things willingly. What did Christ do? He didn't have to lay in traffic for the brethren. What was one of the examples of him giving up his life? Or not being selfish? Go to John 15 and 3, right?
Come. Now ye are clean through the word which
Go to John. Go to John 13 and what? 4. Yeah, go there. Go to St. John 13 and 4.
St. John chapter 13,
Come on.
verse 4.
Read.
He riseth from supper and laid aside his garments,
Right.
and took a towel and girded himself.
Read on. Keep reading.
Gone. After that, he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet.
He did what?
And began to wash the disciples' feet.
Showing that humility, right? Showing that love for the brethren. Go ahead.
And to wipe them with the towel wherewith he was girded.
Yeah, because it would have been easy for Yahweh Shah to be like, nigga, I'm your teacher. Wash my feet. Right? I'm tired. It would have been easy for him to say that. They would have did it. But what was he trying to show? That brotherhood, that humility, that love, that camaraderie. That I'm not here for my own gain. I'm not here to be ministered unto. I'm here to minister. Listen, when Paul said approving ourselves as ministers, and he went through the bucket list, bro, you can't be selfish going through that. You got to know that it is no longer about you ever. As long as you want to be a minister, it's all about you giving. Read on.
Con. Then cometh he to Simon Peter, and Peter said unto him, Lord, dost thou wash my feet? Jesus answered and said unto him, What I do thou knowest not now, but thou shalt know hereafter.
Yeah, what I'm doing, you don't. I know you don't. I know you don't get it, but you'll get it in due time. Go ahead.
Verse 8. Peter said unto him, Thou shalt never wash my feet.
Right.
Yahweh answered him, If I wash thee not.
Can I say one thing too?
Yeah.
On that, read verse 7 again.
Verse 7. Yahweh answered and said unto him, What I do thou knowest not now, but thou shalt know hereafter.
You know, a lot of times, man, when we get counsel or we get advice, that's us getting our feet washed from our elder brother or from our teacher. That's us. That's them washing our feet because they don't gotta help us. They don't have to. They can let us wallow away in our own thoughts and our own decision making. They can let us stay. They don't have to put up with the same things that we do on a day-to-day basis. That the same mistakes that we keep making. They don't have to put up. They don't have to put up with that. But it says, read it from the top.
Verse 7. Yahweh answered and said unto him, What I do thou knowest not now.
And a lot of times, the counsel might come harsh, or the advice might come harsh, and you're like, man, why are y'all coming at me like that? Why are y'all rebuking me like that? But the thing is that a lot of us, we don't understand what's going on then. But later on, when we grow, we'll understand. It's like when you first came in and you got corrected on something that you might thought was minute. Like instead of sitting down and talking, stand up and talk. You might have been like, you don't understand why, but later on you understand why. Let me stand up and talk. It's the order of things. It looks better. It looks better. Israel, the Jews require a sign.
The end sample.
It's the end sample, kind.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Verse 8. Peter said unto him, Thou shalt never wash my feet.
He was like, yeah, you ain't gonna, I'm not gonna allow you to wash my feet. Peter was trying to take be a humble role, but he was misunderstanding what Yahweh Shah was trying to show him.
Yeah. He
was trying to show him that the greater ye are, the more you humble yourself. The much is given, the much is required. That's why he was trying to show Peter. That's what Peter didn't get. Read on.
Yahweh answered him, If I wash thee not, thou hast no part with me.
Yeah, you ain't about me. If I don't wash your feet, if you don't get this concept, you really have no part with me. Y'all see that? Real quick. Go to Philippians 2:1. No, that's not it. Go to Corinthians. Go to Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. Just in closing, we got to understand that. We got to understand, like the scriptures say that this was the mind that was in Christ, right? We got to have the mind of Christ when it comes to when you step into this realm of, I want to be a priest, it's all my nation, I'm an Israelite, I'm going to throw on fringes and do the Israelite things, this is what it means. Check this out. Go to 2 Corinthians 11 and verse 22.
2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 22.
That's in my head. Go ahead, read.
Are they Hebrews?
Right.
So am I.
Come on.
Are they Israelites?
Read.
So am I.
Come on.
Are they the seed of Abraham? So am I.
This was Paul reminding. Paul had to constantly remind, like, bro, you're not greater. You an Israelite, so am I. You will see the Abraham, so am I. Now watch. Now he had to check certain folk, but show them this is why I had to go through the things I went through. Read.
Are they ministers of Yahushua?
Are we? Are we? Because a minister can't be selfish. He can't be greedy. He can't just be thinking about self. Read.
I speak as a fool.
Right?
I am more.
Right. He said, if you a minister, I'm more. Why? Read.
In labors more abundant.
Because I got more works. Read.
In stripes above measure.
I done got beat more times.
In prisons more frequent.
I've been locked up for the word. Come on.
And deaths off.
And deaths off. Meaning, how many times I almost died for this? Come on.
Of the Jews 5 times received I 40 stripes.
Yeah, I'm getting whooped by my own people. Read on.
Save one.
Read.
Thrice was I beaten with rods.
Yeah, I'm getting rods. I'm getting whooped. Read on.
Once was I stoned. Thrice I suffered shipwreck.
Now, you got to listen to this. It sounds like he's boasting, right? Like, nigga, this is what I'm doing, cuz. Right? Look, I'm catching all this. But he had to put it back in the minds of the people that, yeah, I'm going through this, but I'm not just going through it for nothing. We don't just go through whatever for nothing. And he's not boasting here. He's setting the mind straight because he had to.
Yes, sir.
Because he was getting out of pocket. Like, yeah, I got works. I'm the superhero. I'm this. I'm that. But this is how you know. Read on.
A night and a day I have been in the deep. And journeying often in perils of water, in perils of robbers,
right?
In perils by mine own countrymen,
right?
In perils by the heathen,
right?
In perils in the city,
read.
In perils in the wilderness,
read.
In perils in the sea,
come on.
In perils among false brethren.
In perils against what?
False brethren.
See, he had to do all this. He caught all this hell, and there was false brethren. It still didn't stop him from doing what he had to do. Read on.
In weariness and in painfulness, in watching often, in hunger and thirst,
read.
In fasting of 10, in cold and naked.
Come on, read.
Besides those things that are without, that which cometh upon me daily.
He said, besides those things, right? Besides those things that are without, and the things that came on me daily, this is what it was about. Read.
The care of all the churches.
Wait, himself?
The care of all the churches.
Wait, making sure that he didn't never get back in danger.
The care of all the churches.
He went through all these things because he cared for the church. Now, I'm not saying that brothers got to go put themselves in perilous situations and go get shot at by cops, and that's not what I'm saying.
It's for the church.
And then say, well, it's for the truth. I'll die for the truth. How about instead of dying for the truth, you live for the truth the right way? How about you present your soul, your body as that living sacrifice, holy and pure? That is your acceptable offering. Read on.
Who is weak and I am not weak?
Yeah, because it's like, well, I'm going through things, brother. Well, he just said it. Who's weak and I'm not weak? Who ain't going through things and I'm not? I'm catching hell. We are catching hell. So that's not an excuse of, well, I'm going through things and I'm weak. And nah, bro, suck it up. There's going to be somebody there to help you through your weakness. The strong shall bear the infirmity of the weak. But if you stuck around and weren't selfish, well, it's all about me and my problems, then you would let somebody bear your infirmities. Didn't Christ say, bear your own cross? Then the next verse down, he comes back and says, bear ye one another's cross. Bear ye one another's burden. Did it not? Con. He said, bear your own cross. And he came back down and said, bear ye one another's burdens. Read on.
Who is offended and I burn not.
You see that? We gotta put that mind in check, man. That self, because these are the things, these things pop up in our heads, like I'm going through it, I'm catching hell, I'm this, I'm that, and then you're like, no, I ain't got time to be a brother. I don't got time to be a sister. I no longer have time to be an Israelite because of what I'm dealing with. But the mind of Christ is look not at everyone on his own, but on the things of others, because that was the mind of Christ. The Son of Man got nowhere to lay his head, right? But was he tripping on that? Like, well, shit, I got nowhere to lay. So I don't know what y'all gonna do, but I'm about to go figure me something out. Was what Christ was on? Like, I don't know what y'all gonna do, but me, I got me a spot. I'm gonna go command somebody's house over here, and y'all just wait for me in the backyard. Y'all just chill on the boat. Was he on that? No, he was like, listen, I'm gonna wash y'all's feet. I'm gonna show you true unselfishness and true brotherhood. That it ain't about gain. When he washed the apostles' feet in the oil, and Judas's old greedy ass was like, we could have sold that for 300 pence. Yeah. Why you use that oil? Because he was greedy. It was all about his gain. It's 10. Any questions? We skipped a lot. Any questions on that? Another banger. Any prayers of blessing to us? Oh, okay, Ernest. Okay, my phone number is. You want to put the numbers? God, I got you. For those prayers, I'll get somebody to get them to you. We might send me an email. I'll hit you up. Anything online before we sign out? Another good one. I mean, another good one. Another good topic. Yeah. Nothing. If there's nothing online, again, want to remind everybody about the Passover. The Passover officially begins on the 18th at sundown. Okay, so that's when the Feast of Unleavened Bread starts, and then 7 days from that it's over. Starts on the 18th, but we will be celebrating the Passover on the 21st. All right, so if you want to be in unity with us, we'll begin on the 18th, which is in 3 days. What happened?
Oh no.
Yeah, which is in 3 days. All right, so everybody clear on that? So start getting that leaven out your house. You know, all them little Debbie snacks. Right? All them Totino's pizzas, those self-rising crusts. Get them out the crib.
You know,
eat them.
You know, it's funny how you said that. I'm gonna say this is how crazy your mind works. I'm pretty sure not everybody's mind is like this, but this is how my mind just works just now. He was saying all that,
he got hungry,
and I was like, yeah. And I was like, dang.
Triple meat.
I was like, dang, yeah, so we gonna give it another bread on the 18th, huh? I got 3 days to eat some bread.
Yeah. Well, you got 3 days, so eat it or toss it.
You can still eat, tortillas and stuff like that. Come on.
Eat it or toss it.
Oh, tortillas are good.
Not all. You gotta be careful. Some do have leaven. You gotta check it out before you cop. Check the ingredients. You got self-rising flour, you got all that. So corn tortillas, I guess. Those flours, you gotta be careful. Remember, Passover starts on the 18th. We will be celebrating on the 21st for the fact that everybody's gonna be off. All right, that's an off day for everybody. You know, it's Esau's wicked little holiday, but they give us off that day, so we take advantage of it. All right. So, any questions on that? Anything online?
No, sir.
All right. Let's salute them. Let's say shalom.
Shalom.
We'll see y'all back here on Wednesday from 7 to 10. We'll see y'all then. Shalom. Sir.
Still with us.